And we are live. Hello, everybody. Sorry we're a few
Hello.
minutes late.
My fault.
Were we supposed to hide Gavin?
Oh,
No, we're not
hide,
doing that anymore, right? Wait,
there you go. Hide
wait.
me.
We have a special guest tonight. It's a surprise, and
Yeah, everyone try and
anybody
guess
can
who it is.
guess who it is. Put it in the chat if you think you know who it is. It's Gavin from
Hey!
So sorry we're a couple minutes late, everyone. You know how it is. Controlled chaos over here. My thing got all messed up. All my settings got reset, so it took me an extra minute. But that was okay because I had plenty of time to relax because Gareth lost his phone. But he's
Yeah.
now found it, and we are ready to rock and roll. So we are very excited to have Gavin with us. Anybody that was here in our last episode, if you weren't already familiar with Gavin, you know him now because we did our open mic on the last episode, and Gavin was kind enough to drop in for that. So, but now he's back for his own dedicated episode. I think he's gonna vie for the green. He heard about the infamous green jacket, so he wants to vie for that. He's get 2 episodes in a row. He's making appearances. So
He was also, this wasn't an official, is this thing on, but he was also in the Christmas quiz as well, wasn't he?
and he was in the Christmas quiz. Yeah. I don't know if
He
that
actually
counts.
knew the answers. Dave, you were crap in that.
I was. Gavin knew all the answers. I knew none of them. You embarrassed me. Don't embarrass me again, Gavin.
Well, funny enough, this week is a quiz.
I've got several questions on Italian neo-realist cinema, if you want them.
You know, I thought about, before we went on, asking Gavin about not making too many of them about like names of producers or actors and old movies and stuff. This was before I knew it was going to be all about movies. I thought it was a Christmas thing. You know, it had nothing to do with Christmas. It was all just old movies.
Just at Christmas, yeah.
I know because every show he's always whipping that stuff out. He's like, "Oh yeah, you remember when Joe Shimmy Bob produced movie XYZ back in 1954?" I never have any idea.
You don't know about Joe Shimmy Bob? He's amazing.
I couldn't tell you if you name there. You probably could not name any movie right now where I would be able to name the producer
or the director. The director.
Yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't do it myself. I couldn't think of a single movie.
Who directed Jaws? Dave, who directed Jaws?
I have no idea.
Oh, really?
Oh, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I know a couple, but
you know Stevie.
Yeah.
We all know Stevie.
All right, let's say we're late. Let's see who's here. A lot of people.
You said
here.
there was people in the chat already.
Yeah.
Ah,
all right,
Jenny's
our producer's here.
Hey, Jenny.
Never fear, the producer's here.
This is the first episode 26. I'm eating my dinner.
That's right. It's been a stressful night for Jenny Erie. She had to help Gareth find his phone and help me work through my settings and everything. Gareth was here like an hour ago. Gavin was here like an hour ago, but hi Heidi. Jenny saying hi. Everybody's saying hi. 2025 treating you guys so far. How is 2025 treating? I don't know if that's to us or the other people in the chat. Probably to everybody. How's Gavin? How's 2025 treating you so far?
Bit chilly, but it's okay. Yeah, getting there.
It's snowing here. It was just snowing on the way home. I just came from the office. It was snowing.
Do you like it snow? Do you like it when it snows?
I like snow. I mean, I don't like having to shovel it, but I don't even mind that all that much because I like being out in the snow. Olive loves running around in the snow, right? You love running around in the snow. Yeah, I don't know. Do you like the snow?
Not really.
No.
I like what it looks like, but it's very cold, isn't it? It can be a little bit awkward.
It's nice. Do you get a lot of snow? Because you're right on the coast now. You get a lot of snow there?
Yeah, I get hardly any. So you're a bit. Where are you, Gav? You're in Kent.
In Kent, so
You're
not very much.
Yeah, we're both down south.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I don't really even know where Kent is. Where is that geographically?
It's between London and Paris.
There's a big ocean in
I'm
between.
about
Paris.
20 minutes drive from Dover. So White Cliffs of Dover.
How far are you from Gareth?
About an hour, is it?
Hour and a half, something like that.
Hour and a half. Okay.
I did used to visit Portsmouth. I think probably just round the corner from where you are.
Oh, really?
It's by Fratton Park.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally Fratton Park's down the road. Fratton Park's the big football stadium. Because this town is all about football. Jesus Christ! When there's a match, the whole place stops.
Yeah, it wasn't this millennium, but I have done it.
Yeah. All right.
So it's about 12 hours walk from my house.
Crazy at first and now strangely calm. Did you say 12-hour walk? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I had no idea how long it would take.
You wouldn't know because you jog it, right?
I would skateboard
you
it.
Wouldn't know. Yeah, so you wouldn't know how long it takes to walk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if skateboards are allowed on the motorway, but
so Erie's 2025 start was crazy at first, but now strangely calm. And you? So what was crazy about it, Erie?
the calm before the storm, maybe.
Yeah. I swear the next time you tell me to hurry and finish the book, I will listen. Eye of the World was great in the second half. Oh, so you finished it and you liked it,
Nice.
huh?
That's
Are
good.
you gonna move? Are you gonna move on, Jenny? We're talking about fantasy tonight, so I don't know if Gavin, have you read that series?
I've read the first one.
The first one. Did you decide not to go on, or you just haven't got there yet?
I haven't got there yet. I've got a whole stack of Robert Jordans, but it's I'm not doing the fat fantasy this year. I'm doing thin fantasy.
Okay. All right, so we'll come back to that because we're going to talk about fantasy. We want to hear about that.
Slimming World Fantasy.
I should probably write these questions down because, yeah.
Are you just proving that you're wearing trousers?
Yeah. Are you wearing pants tonight?
I am. I've just put them on.
Are you wearing pants, Gavin?
Yes.
Okay. You never know.
I went up to get the fancy books, right? And my wife's in bed, and she said, "Are you like one of those newscasters that don't wear trousers underneath?" I said, "No, I'm going to put some on when I do the show."
That's what I mean. Watching our show, people probably think they don't have to wear trousers when they come on.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got
the way that my camera's positioned, I could have a crop top on, couldn't I? And you wouldn't know.
You could. Yeah. And even if we would know, that still might be.
Is that what, are you pitching that now?
So,
imagine that.
I am. I don't know. You might need to save that for the OnlyFans. I don't know.
Get the order merch
or my only fan.
So Jenny's has been going crazy too. Oh, that first half is gone already. It's going fast. Listening to Curse of the Mist Wraith for January. You have to read it very slowly with no noise, or you miss a plot point on the audio. What is that, Heidi? I never heard. Have you guys ever heard of that? Curse of the Mist Wraith?
No, I don't know that one.
Can you give us more, Heidi? Nobody's
Curse
ever heard of that.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Pat's coming on again soon too, right?
Pat's our next guest.
All right. She's one of your competition for the green jacket, Gavin.
I'm sure it looked better on her than it does.
Yeah, that's a crop top as well.
This was me telling everybody you lost your phone.
Yeah, found it.
Yeah, The Great Hunt is one of the best. So is that book 2 in Eye of the World, The Great Hunt?
I think it is.
Rather than later. Yeah. I want to ask, we would talk about Eye of the World, but thankfully, immersive read with audio. Okay, so apparently it's good on audio. Everybody saying hi. Hi, Gavin. Hi. with Van and Elaine in February. The second Eye of the World book. Does that series have? That series has another name, right? Besides Eye of the World, besides the first.
It's Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
Wheel of Time. Right. Wheel of Time.
And it's got the little Mickey Mouse ears logo.
Does it have a logo that looks like
It
the Mickey
does.
Mouse ears?
Yeah. Hold on.
Does it have Mickey Mouse in it then?
I've got the Great Hunt here. I think it must have Mickey Mouse in it. I mean, look at that. That's Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah. Which imprint is that? That's a nice copy you got there. Hold that up.
Well, no. Well, it's nice other than the fact that it's got one of these sticker that's not a sticker.
Yeah. Hold that all the way up. Hold that all the way up. That looks nice. I have just one of the. I picked it up at a fair. I have one of those old mass market paperback versions, and it's like too thick to read in a mass paperback version. It's like that book.
Yeah,
it's like that copy of Evolution I got Gareth that I got to replace now.
You'd have to replace it.
I got to replace it.
I prefer this kind of artwork. This is like mass market paperback stuff.
That's nice. Who's that? Oh, that's Robert Jordan too. What is that in the Wheel of Time?
That's number 3.
That's number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 4 is Pluto and the Annoying Squirrel, isn't it?
I'm waiting. Yeah, Chip and Dale turn up in like episode 6.
Oh boy! All right, maybe we should crowdsource finding the phone. He's got it. Whistle. Jenny beat him for a while. Whistle for it like it's
she did. It was horrible.
Phony. Yeah, where was it finally, or can you say?
Classic moment. It was in my coat pocket. I thought I'd already taken it out and used it, but I hadn't. I hadn't used it since I got home, so it was in my coat pocket.
That's okay. I had one of those the other day when I was walking. I'm like, "Where's my phone?" It was in my hand, and I'm walking around going, "Where's my phone? Anybody see my phone?"
That's brilliant. I love that.
My uncle did that once years ago. We had the kids. We took them to this. This was down when I was in New Jersey, and we had this like little, tiny little amusement park called the Land of Make Believe. Anybody from the East Coast know the Land of Make Believe? And it's really meant for little kids. And so just the two dads, the women had like chores to do. So the two dads took all the kids. They were all really little. And so it was like really hectic for us, right? We were going crazy. and he's my uncle, but he's really more like my brother. He's just a couple years difference from me. We have all kids the same age. And so he turned at one point when like all this craziness, he turns to me and he's like, Dave, where's Matt? And he's like literally holding Matt in his arm right here, an entire child. And he's like, where's Matt?
Oh my God, that is frightening if you've lost a child. Oh Jesus.
Hey Kat.
Hi Kat.
How's it going?
I'm going on a college trip next week. You don't want to lose a child when you go on a college trip.
No.
We're going
What do
to
you mean? You're taking a whole class or something?
Yeah, we're taking a bunch of music tech students to Abbey Road's Institute. So it's like where it's like connected to Abbey Road, but it's their like university. So it's quite good. We did it last year and we're doing it again next week. So you don't want to lose a child.
What's the age range?
We teach 16 to 18-year-olds.
Okay.
So yeah. So like it's always like you get on the bus, you get on the the coach, and you count everyone, and then you get there, you count them again, and then you do your thing, and then you before you get back on the coach, you count them again.
Those are the only times you count them.
You
got to worry about it, right? You walk down the street, you got to worry about 3 of them peeling off into the coffee shop.
Yeah. Especially the ones we're taking next week. There's a couple of randomers that might just go, "Oh, what's that over there?"
Dude, why don't you sit back on your be more comfy if you.
But it should be fun.
You're not sitting on it right. There you go. Isn't that better? I was telling Gavin before we went on. I got because I moved. I realized that Olive was more comfortable like just on the desk. So I've been doing that the last couple of shows.
Yeah.
And I remember we had one of these little pads from when she was in a puppy. So I put that on the desk. So it's not a lot more comfortable, right? I don't know if I can really show it here. Can I show it there? Yeah, see?
That's cool. Yeah.
Her little her little cushion pad here. Now she's
Little
getting
bed.
mad. Little Betty thing. So,
Oh, well, I've got a little update about my elderly Chico.
Oh, what happened?
Well, obviously Ralph sometimes on screen. Chico isn't as much on screen, but he's the one that's completely losing it. And earlier on, he was barking. We were like, "Is that Chico?" And then we could hear him. He's like his bark sounds like a car alarm. So he goes, and we're like, "That's definitely Chico." So I thought, well, maybe he's having trouble getting back in the dog flap. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe there's something in the way or something like that. So I opened the door into the garden, and no, he was nowhere near that. He was in the middle of the garden, clearly confused, trying to find the house.
Oh, but he can't see, right?
I don't think he can see. I think he's also got
right.
dementia. I think it's dementia because he's confused so much of the time. So
yeah.
I just picked him up and brought him in.
You think maybe his sense of smell is going a little bit, because that's normally how we'd find the house, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, probably. Yeah. I think must be a combination of things because he's not able to get his bearings a lot now. So so that was a bit weird because I thought he was, either saw a cat or couldn't get back in, but it was nothing like that. He was just confused. Bless him.
Or maybe he saw the cat first, and that's what got him in the predicament, and then he just couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all made it to your show. Yes. Thanks for coming, Cat. What a surprise. Another children story, probably. You say this is like still from the beginning here. All right, we'll catch up. Your shelves are looking wonderfully full again, Gavin. They are looking wonderfully full.
Yeah, I was watching your latest run through the shelves, and I love it because all of the books you look at, the ones that you bring on screen, they're either books I'd like to read or books that I've already got. There's tons of crossover.
Yeah. Well, I've finally, over New Year, reorganized a lot. So it took the best part of 2 days, but we got there. That's the reason why I was doing all those videos. I needed to figure out what was actually there and then bite the bullet.
Yeah.
I need to do that. Right now there's so many books like I know I have it, but I don't know. It would take me a while if I wanted to read it. I don't know where it is. It's too many piles. Was the quiz master. He was the quiz master.
He was good. He's a genius. There you go.
I'll take that.
I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, is this supposed to be Walt Disney? I assume
that's
it's Walt
hard.
Disney?
Yeah, he did do. I think he did the original. I don't know of an earlier one than the Disney one. I think that might be what he was getting at.
Gavin?
The Disney one's like, what, 52? It's a later one, isn't it?
Early 50s.
She's asking the original animated.
I don't know if that's a trick question. That sounds like it could be a trick question.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's see. Give us the answer.
I mean, their first feature-length film was 1937, Snow White. So there was, what, a 15-year gap or something in between.
That was 19 what?
1937 was Snow White.
Oh. So what about Tuesday? What happened on Tuesday?
Bitter about Tuesday.
What happened Tuesday, Jenny? By the time we get to these answers, we're not going to know what they're about. Bad Dave, I suck at geography too. I'm pretty good at like American geography, I think, but I'm like, I just don't know. I know the shape of England. I know where London is. I know where Gareth is. I mean, that's mostly what I know.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Well, I live in a place called Ashford, and there must be several Ashfords in the US. There's one in Westeros.
Westeros? There's a Westeros in America.
No, there's a Westeros in Game of Thrones.
In Westeros. Oh, it might be good if there's a Portsmouth. If there's a Portsmouth in Game of Thrones, then there's a chance I might meet Daenerys.
Oh, we'll have to talk about Game of Thrones too. All right, let's see.
I haven't read those yet.
What happened Tuesday? Yeah, Kat wants to know what happened Tuesday too.
Yeah.
I've not to tell. For me, the pain is still too near. What?
What's going on?
There's a whole
Someone's been
dramatic-
hurting Jenny.
There's a whole story here. Very long, quiet shift at work. Forgot the Kindle. Had to rely on live streams, and we weren't on Tuesday. I don't know what you did. Jenny, if that ever happens again, you just got to message us. We can always do an impromptu live stream.
Yeah, we could do that.
We
call it an emergency live stream.
We have to question if y'all wear pants now. The show's getting dirty early this time. That is early.
Early this time.
Like
My chips have gone cold. MJ.
Twin Leaks. Is that a joke, Twin Leaks? Did
What?
she mean Twin Peaks, or is she talking about, is there something actually called Twin Leaks?
Twin Leaks. That must be a Welsh version. Twin Leaks is probably a Welsh parody.
Welsh version? Gareth, Gavin, do you know what she's talking about?
A rare bit.
I
know what she's talking about. Before I watch Twin Leaks. I think that's what it is. I think because David Lynch is Welsh, isn't he? Because he's got a Welsh name. So Twin Leaks.
Just passed away.
What?
David Lynch.
He just passed away.
Are you serious?
No, he's died this evening. Well,
He
it was
just
reported this evening.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, I maybe should have waited till after the show to tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go on a David Lynch binge.
Yeah, come on, Dave. Name the films.
Yeah, name
David
one
Lynch.
David Lynch film. One David Lynch film. And if you don't, you're insulting the dead.
Twin Peaks?
Yes. No, you don't know any of his films. You've probably seen.
I'm sure I've seen them, but I never pay attention to producers, directors, any of that. So tell me.
Oh, I'm well into that.
Okay, why don't we do this? Instead of playing Dave clearly doesn't know any, let's play which of Gareth and Gavin knows more. Who can name more?
We're going to put us against each other.
Yeah, we'll let Gavin go first because he's the
Gladiators ready.
The Elephant Man.
The Elephant Man, yeah. John Hurt. What? Oh, do you want to do? You want another one?
Yeah,
Blue Velvet.
Let's take it in turns. Let's see how many we can get through.
Yeah, okay.
What'd you
Blue
say?
Velvet.
Blue Velvet.
Dune.
The Eraserhead.
Wild at Heart.
The Straight Story.
Mulholland Drive.
Oh, that was one I was going for next. Is it called Twin Peaks Walk with Fire?
Fire Walk with Me.
Fire Walk with Me. That'll do. Go on, your turn.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it Lost Highway? I think it was Lost Highway.
Yeah, Lost Highway's one. Yeah, that's apparently completely bizarre.
It is. It switches main character halfway through without any explanation. It's yeah. Well, it's David. It's David Lynch. It's a bit crazy.
Yeah, I'm running out now. Oh, there's probably a really obvious one. Have you got one, Gav?
No, they're escaping my memory now. There must be.
Oh, it could be a draw. I can't think of another one.
It's not a draw.
There's one called Something Kingdom. I can't remember what it was called. Something Kingdom.
Oh, really? Don't know that one. No. So if you can, I don't know if it does Something Kingdom mean that he wins, or is that a fail as well?
No,
he already won. He already has one more than you, even without that.
Okay, fair enough. You won the David Lynch round.
Let me ask you. I have been. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to. This is quite a fun game. I think we should pick another director. But yeah, go on.
So I have not seen Mulholland Drive, and I have been planning to watch it for a while because Michael K. Vaughan said that was I think his favorite movie of all time. It was either his favorite, either classified as sci-fi and so his favorite sci-fi, or else just his general favorite. I think it was his favorite movie of all time.
When I did
So maybe
when I did Desert Island Flicks with Nick from another BookTube channel, that was one of
Yeah.
his 10. He picked that in one of his 10 as well.
So did you guys both? Because I looked at the trailer and it didn't seem like, I didn't say I wasn't going to watch it, but it didn't look like super intriguing. So I put it off. Was still planning to watch it, but I put it off. Do you guys both really like that, or what are your feelings on it?
I think that is. I'm just thinking about all the ones we just listed. I think there's 2 in that list I haven't seen, and that's The Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive. So, but I know that the thing that's intriguing about it is the plot twist, the fact that what you think you're watching is not what you're watching. I know that's what's going on.
What do you think about it, Gavin?
I have also not seen it, so we've washed out completely.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Somebody's.
Is that both of them?
That's both of them. I don't know why Riley's in here. Hey, could you get her out? Could you take her out?
Is that Olive going? Oh, it's my show. Get out of my studio.
It's the combo of Thank you. No, close it, please. Everybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can leave it. You can leave it open. Thanks. Sorry, guys. I totally lost. Because what happens is it's like the exponential factor. Like,
at least it doesn't sound like a car alarm. That'd be really confusing.
I'm going to mute myself and you guys talk so I don't annoy everybody.
So I think, Gav, the question was, have you seen Mulholland Drive?
And the answer is no, I haven't. I've not seen Mulholland Drive even once, but I have seen Dune probably about 25 times to make
25 times.
I love that film. I would watch that film now if you put it on. He disowned it. It's under like released under a pseudonym as director because he didn't have final cut on it. But I just love it.
I like it. I think it's underrated, but I really like the new ones.
I like the new ones, but I'm just going to prefer the David Lynch one. It's just off the wall.
It was such a nice time for science fiction and fantasy in those days as well, because they had enough practical effects to do cool films, but CGI hadn't been created at that point, so there was some like cheesiness to them as well.
By that, exactly, yeah,
and there was some really good stuff that came out.
David Lynch turned down Return of the Jedi in order to do Dune.
That's mad. What kind of film would Return of the Jedi been if he'd have done it?
Very different. I don't know what would have happened with the Ewoks.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe Darth Vader would have been into S&M or something. I
think we just spent our entire film with Jabba the Hutt. I think that's probably what would have happened.
Yeah, I think someone needs to write a David Lynch version of Return of the Jedi. It'll be really interesting. It clearly wouldn't be very non-linear. Did you like The Straight Story?
That's vague memories of that. He's on a lawnmower.
Yeah, just sort of keeps traveling. It's quite a cute film.
I think that's the point where he was struggling to get sort of funding for stuff. And it's quite a low budget one. I think Lost Highway's a bit like that as well. Right.
There's a film that I think has got a similar feel to The Straight Story. That's not David Lynch, but I absolutely loved it. And that's a Bruce Dern film called Nebraska. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
So good.
I've seen Bruce Dern in anything. It's Silent Running.
Which is one of my favorite films. I love Silent Running.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love Bruce Dern. I mean, have you not seen The Burbs?
No.
Oh my God, you got to see The Burbs.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Tom Hanks? Is that
yes, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I saw that.
Is Dave's
That'd be
just
decades
like
ago.
just watching us now, or are the dogs still barking?
No,
It's
no,
just-
no. They stopped. Bert, I'm just listening. What happened?
Um,
What happened? If you're curious, all three daughters decided to go out, and then like one of them ran back in, and that freaked. I think it freaked out Riley, and they're like, "What?" Just the two of them. It's like exponential. One just sets the other off, and they both go nuts and can't
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
You know?
yeah. But she was wagging her tail, so she was clearly not upset.
Yeah.
She was just excited.
Hold on, let me just catch up real quick here.
Yeah, yeah.
Not pants. We need sock reveals. Ah! Remember we got all sexy with the socks. Hey,
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
popping in before I start.
We haven't asked
Yeah,
Gav what socks he's got on.
Okay, so she's doing Twin Peaks.
Twin Leaks. I don't, you might not have even got my Welsh parody joke, but leeks are the Welsh vegetable. They're the national vegetable in Wales. That's what I said.
The national vegetable?
Yeah. I don't know why that's a thing. We haven't got one. There's no English vegetable, is there, Gavin?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean,
we have them all. Sprouts? No, that's Brussels, isn't it? Brussels
that's
sprouts.
Belgian.
Yeah, it's
Surely.
Belgian. What do we have? Cabbage?
I mean,
Cabbage.
Scotland have a thistle. I don't know if you can eat thistles.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
think you
recommend
can. Hardcore, isn't it?
This look at Jenny's comment. On big screen, MJ, can you see all their blemishes? So you guys ever think about this? Because like
All
a
the
lot
time.
of people watch us on TV and we're a lot bigger. Yeah, you think about it?
Well,
you ever think about it, Kevin?
I did. I mean, I had to do sort of quality checking. I've seen myself on a TV on one of these before, and I just thought I need to upgrade the phone at some point soon. Well, not soon, at some point, because it's a little bit fuzzy. I don't know if the upscaling's off, but yeah, I'm not really spending a lot of time in makeup before any of these.
Yeah.
I was going to shave. I forgot to shave. I was going to get rid of all this before. I kept going because my wife was going, "Oh, you're really prickly." I said, "No, it's going before the show on Thursday," but it clearly hasn't. So it's all been a bit of a rush tonight.
We're compensating by being in 3 smaller screens, though. So
Yeah.
That's true, I
Yeah.
guess.
But when you put yourself out there, it is definitely something that you should think about. Because I mean, I did a video once and I've kept it on because I'm not going to do it again. But I look like I was dragged through a hedge backwards. I looked terrible in one particular video, and I thought, oh my god, I need to look at what I'm doing first. But there we are. It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that again. That particular video because I think I'd already done it like 3 times.
The Wheel of Time really does look at Mickey. Gavin? Do you have the whole set in that version?
No, I think I'm missing 4 and 15.
15.
But yeah, there's 2 that are written by Brandon Sanderson after Jordan died, just to finish the series off.
Oh, I thought he did 10, 11, 12. Or no?
Oh, I thought there's 15 of them. I might be wrong.
Maybe. I thought there was 12, but I'm not an expert.
I think there's 14 in the series, isn't there? I mean, again, I'm not an expert.
Well, I
Is there?
can see 11 there. I've got 12. So yeah, there's more than 10.
Yeah.
Mind you, this says 12, Jordan and Sanderson. So maybe there's just 13.
Okay.
But
So-
yeah, I just found a bunch in a charity shop, and they were £1 each. So I thought, okay.
Oh, nice.
Took the shelf, but they didn't have all of them.
Nice.
I did that with the Old Man's War series. I had the first one and the third one, and I was in a charity shop and I had all of them. I was like, "Oh, that's nice. I'll have them." And they're £1.50 each. That was well good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
nice set you got. Yeah.
Yeah, good condition as well.
What, 2015? Does that put 15 pounds on us? I hope not.
Put £15 on.
I've been. I'll tell you what. I've been losing a little bit. I've been since I've been doing this dry dairy January, and haven't been drinking as much milk, or haven't really been drinking any milk, you know, I've lost a few pounds over the course of the
Wow.
month. Because
God, if
you
I
know,
did that, that would be no tea.
that milk packs a lot of calories. You know, when you have as much milk as I usually have.
Mind you, do you have full fat milk? Because I have semi-skimmed milk. No, genuinely, like there's different colours, isn't there? Like blue milk, red milk, all that. Do you have?
Are now we talking about actual milk? Yeah, we have for actual milk. We have here we have the skim 1%, 2%, 4%.
Oh,
Our
okay.
whole is 4%.
So you
So
don't
what do you
have.
got over there?
I don't know what the percentages are, but it's called.
It's gold top, silver top, blue check, and red, isn't it?
Yeah, it's red. Yeah, I have the. I don't have the blue one anymore. I have the red one. So I haven't had full
They
fat
use
milk for years.
those same like color indicators everywhere. Over there?
Yeah,
No,
all different.
I'm thinking in terms of when milk used to be delivered in the morning. That's
Oh, yeah. God, do people still do that?
no,
I haven't seen a
I'm sure
milk
I'm sure
float
they
for
do
years.
somewhere, but
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
don't know
The
why.
classic milkman.
We seem to have invented sort of electric cars in the 70s and then forgot all about it.
Yeah, he's talking about the classic British milkman, right, Dave?
Yeah.
They'd come around and deliver the milk, and then obviously they deliver the milk, and then some of that rapscallion would nick it on your doorstep.
Why do you say British?
Is that just a general
We
thing?
Yeah, we used to have the milkman over here. My grandfather was a milkman. He was one of those milkmen.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's how he met my grandmother.
Oh, I'm
Delivering
insulting your
milk.
family now. It's a massive
Yeah.
part of your heritage. That's why. So it's a big. That's why it's a big deal that you're giving up milk, isn't it? Because it's such a big thing in your family.
I can't see that now. She's talking about the Mickey, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Star close-ups.
It is an 11-book fantasy series called
Oh, okay.
The War of Light and Shadow. Jenny Wirtz also wrote the Empire trilogy from Rift War, but this series is her magnum opus, Lord of the Rings level epic. She's not well known.
Is it good?
I have heard some people talking about Jenny Wirtz like in the last year, but I haven't read it. You guys read any Jenny Wirtz?
No, I've heard her name again.
Yeah. I think I'm still too far away, but their faces are life size now.
It's a horrific thought.
Huge read this month. January. January. The biscuit 15 area. We got to do our biscuits soon. How far behind are we? Oh geez. Hold on. Let me try to get. You lost it in your coat. That's the thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Oh, Heidi knows the land of make believe. Yeah, it's a little north. It's a little north of that, but yeah. I mean, unless there's more than one. Are you gonna do the Abbey Road walk with the kids, Gareth?
Yeah, the Abbey Road Institute is in a different part of London to the crossing. So yeah, when we were going up the first time, we were like, we've got to do the crossing. We've got to all take photos, but we were miles away, so we couldn't do it. But we might have given ourselves a bit more time this time, so it'd be really good to find it and just take turns posing as the Beatles across that crossing.
When I found that crossing, I was going for something completely different because it's in St John's Wood, and we were going to Lord's.
Oh right.
And it's like, oh, but look, there's the Abbey Road crossing.
That's my favourite Beatles album as well, Abbey Road. Put out there.
All right.
Revolver.
Yeah, Revolver's a good one.
College campus as a high school student. Yeah, don't lose any kids, Gareth. Olive looking cute. Olive is cozy. You cozy, Olive? Oh, Chico. Where's Chico now? Is he there?
He's in bed. He's all right.
Sleeping?
Yeah. it's mad though, because when we go away for a few days, I start thinking, am I gonna have 3 animals when I come back? Because
Well,
all
so
3 of
who
them
watches them? Hey, Constance, who watches them
Conference.
when you're not there?
it varies. So it's either there's a couple of my wife's friends that sometimes do it. Sometimes my daughter does it, and sometimes my son does it. I mean, when no one could do it, my son was like, "That's right, I'll do it." I'm like, "What? You're going to come down from Brighton every day to look after the dog?" "Yeah, that's all right. I'll do that." It's like, wow. It was very good of him, but we managed to sort it out. So yeah, we do. We always get somebody if we do, if we are away or whatever. We've never taken them into a kennels because I just don't think that's very nice. So if it's, I think it's better to have people here if we can.
Yeah, we're the same. Here he says it wasn't a trick question. That was the Disney thing, I think. She was trying to build my ego. Give me an easy one. Thanks,
Love
Siri.
it.
Yeah, well, so I got it right. Heidi, what was the name of the Pratchett book that you recognize sort of reflects some of Shakespeare's plays? You probably know that, Gareth, right? That's a Discworld book?
Discworld book.
Gavin looks like he's got it there.
Is it We Free Men? Is that a Shakespeare one? Oh no, hold on.
I'm thinking Weird Sisters.
Yeah, Weird Sisters. That's got a Macbeth
Weird
reference.
Sisters, Jenny says. Weird Sisters.
Yeah, oh, yeah. She's written it there. Yeah,
I've got it there somewhere.
I like that one. We've been talking. We're going to talk about fantasy in a minute, aren't we? Once we've done our biscuits. But Dave and Joe were talking about reading Mort.
Well,
yeah.
No, you and Joe were talking about reading Mort.
I
would read it. I wanted to kind of read them in order. I still haven't read that first one, but
that's fair enough. I mean, Joe is reading it thinking he's not going to like it, so it's like he's determined to try, which is great. But it's not. Pratchett isn't for everyone, but Mort's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
I've read about.
Sisters can be read alone. Can Mort be read alone too?
Yeah, they can all be read alone, really. I think the reason why I said read The Color of Magic first is that some people just sort of slag it off, and then if you've read a bunch of others, so you're not reading in order anymore, you might never read that one, and that was how it started, So I think it's good to read that because it's how it started. I mean, I read it when it came out.
You were talking about Mort for February?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I think Joe was the one that started that conversation, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll read Mort again." And then obviously it fits into the February fantasy thing.
If we do it later February, I could read Color of Magic first, and then
I could reread The Color of Magic because I haven't read that for donkey's years. I've read it twice, but not a long time ago.
Well, let's read that.
Yeah,
let's read that right in the beginning of February. How's that sound?
Yeah,
Gavin, you want in?
I might have it on ebook somewhere.
So you've read that one previously?
When I was probably 12, maybe.
Okay.
It's not the freshest of memories, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's any Pratchett is good Pratchett.
He's a clever boy, isn't
he? Yeah.
And The Color of Magic is an easy read. I mean, even if you don't like it, you're not going to hate it.
Yeah. It's about David Lynch.
It must be, yeah. That's terrible.
I'll have to watch the show. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, MJ. You're probably gone already. The Grandmother. Neither of you mentioned that one, did you?
Oh, no. I don't know that one.
Hi, Luna Libro.
I know who that is. Hiya.
Mulholland Drive messed me up. I loved Wild at Heart, though.
Well, Nick Cage's performance in Wild at Heart is amazing.
Maybe I should watch Mulholland Drive. I always say we have these things, and I always say, well, maybe I'll go watch this after the show. And I never watch it like right then. Well, I probably have a couple times, actually. But sometimes I watch shortly after. Like The Mist. I watched that almost immediately after you told me to watch it.
What did you think?
Yeah, it was. I thought we talked about that one. That was, I mean, heartbreaking, but really good. I mean, that was crazy. Really that movie had a lot to say. And that's one of those movies that I imagine a lot of people just enjoyed it on a surface level, and a lot of people probably enjoyed it at a deeper level in terms of its social commentary. And
Yeah.
it was have you seen that, Gavin?
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Who's that? The Mist.
The
Yeah,
Mist.
it's Frank Darabont who's a bit of a King expert.
He's the he did Shawshank, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also did The Green Mile as well. So, and he was the first producer of The Walking Dead. So, quite a good resume.
Oh. Now because you said, I think, Gareth, correct me if this is wrong, but I think you said The Mist was pretty different from King's novella, but King really liked it though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He said he's on record as saying he really likes what Frank Darabont did with it, even though it's quite bold, really.
What came first? Stephen King's The Mist or James Herbert's The Fog?
James Herbert's The Fog, I think.
They're similar premises.
Yeah.
Fog's
Yeah, they
pretty
are.
nasty.
Yeah.
Inland Empire. That's David Lynch.
Yes, that's the one I was trying to remember the name of.
Mm.
Well, the heart. Yeah, everybody's naming the David Lynches. Somebody isn't happy. Who's not happy?
that was Olive.
Oh, Olive being the perfect. Are you a diva? Are you a perfect little diva? Here, you want another treat? We didn't do biscuits yet, but I'll give you another one here.
I can see how Kat would say that.
Yeah. You didn't even say hi to everybody. You want to say hi, everybody? Why don't you sit up for a second? Here, sit up. All you did was bark. Say hi to everybody. Say hello. Say hello. I'm lazy tonight. All right, let's see.
No, not as lazy as well.
Stewart in it. Did it really? I didn't see it. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
And obviously, infamously, Sting as well.
That's
that's
the greatest underwear in cinema history.
Huh.
I really want to. This is a complete tangent, but Sting is playing at the Isle of Wight Festival this year, and we're doing a gig in a couple of weeks that could be in front of people that might book us for the Isle of Wight Festival. And if I get that slot, if we get booked for the Isle, I'll be so happy because it means I get to see Sting. So I'll be so happy. But I don't know. Cross your fingers. Do a good show.
Demanding hair and makeup to come.
Music. You made my day this morning, Gareth. I knew it was going to be a good day.
Penguin Cafe.
Your Penguin Cafe Orchestra.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time someone mentioned the Penguin Cafe Orchestra.
They did a show recently, and I was like, "What?" I didn't realize they were still, because I think they've reformed a couple of times, haven't they? And Simon Jeffries has died, didn't he? But
he died in like 98 or something.
Yeah. Gav's talking about my 100 album challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So they pop up now and again, and when they do, a few people will see them. And this one was Penguin Cafe Orchestra. It was like a really unique band. It's almost like commercial, serious music, classical kind of classical approach to instrumental pop music, if you like.
They're pretty much a local band.
No. They were based in London, I think. But they go back to the 80s. Yeah, they were quite well. They weren't big, but they were kind of a bit of a cult band.
Yeah, their first album was produced by Brian Eno, I think.
Yeah,
I saw them at Glastonbury, probably 96, 95,
really,
something like that, in the acoustic tent, and they're just fantastic.
How many people were in the band? How many people were in the orchestra?
There must have been. There's a good 15 of them there.
Right, that's cool.
I mean, it was this was I think Union Cafe would have been the album they were.
Such a great album. Yeah, I love that album. Yeah, check them
Gavin
out,
Constance-
Dave.
I'll check them out.
Good reading music as well. Very
Yeah?
background stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
you can just have it on. It's not ambient, but it can be treated like it, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I listen to a lot of ambient. Like I always have that on when I'm reading. I have it on when I'm reading. I have it on at work. I listen to so much of that stuff.
That's cool. They did a famous track
Yeah.
which was based around a telephone ringtone and the sound of a rubber band, and it's called Telephone and Rubber Band. And they kind of build the music around this ringtone. It goes, doo, doo,
That
doo,
sounds
doo,
like
doo,
it would be
doo.
screeching, not ambient.
Well, it's kind of minimalist. So it's like a lot of their stuff
Okay.
is like a loop that gets built on. So it's very, if you're into Michael Nyman and Philip Glass, people like that, you might like Penguin Cafe Orchestra.
Okay. So Gavin Constant wants to know if you like the recent Dune films.
I do like them. I've just got a soft spot for the David Lynch one. I think the vision there is crazy. I mean, I like the Villeneuve ones, but it looks like a Villeneuve movie. It looks fantastic. But David Lynch, I mean, I can't think of another movie it looks like. It's
Yeah.
and
Well, you say that. I think it's got a similar production value to Flash Gordon, actually.
yeah,
He's thinking about it.
I'm not so much disagreeing with you as more I'm agreeing with myself.
That sounds like it's not me, it's you.
No, Flash Gordon's a lot more garish.
Yeah, true. It's a bit brighter. But I don't know, there's a similarity. You can tell that they're from the same era.
Yeah.
I love Flash Gordon.
Oh, it's fantastic. And well, you just need a bunch of English actors in your sci-fi all the time. You know,
Yeah.
so you've got Patrick Stewart in Dune, you've got Brian Blessed in Flash Gordon.
And Timothy Dalton. But Flash Gordon's got lines like, Flash, I love you, but we've only got 20 minutes to save the world. And all that. Brilliant.
Sorry,
Great
my
lines.
daughter's just asked me if I want a pizza, so I had to respond to that.
Yes, please. I'll have a barbecue chicken with extra peppers, please.
Do you like chicken on your pizza? Or you just
Yeah.
meant you wanted a barbecue chicken? You like chicken on your pizza?
Yeah, I like barbecue chicken flavored pizza. That's actually my wife's favorite as well, which is why I get used to having it, because that's one we share a lot. I like most pizzas. I don't like anchovies on pizza. It's a bit
What's your
strong.
favorite pizza? What's your favorite pizza topping? Chicken?
You're having like a meat feast with lots of different types of like pepperoni and meat and beef and stuff like that on there. I quite like that.
Yeah. You know, it'd be great if they made a pizza with digestives on it, right? You would like that, wouldn't you?
A biscuit pizza. Yeah, there must be somewhere with that on it.
What about you, Gavin? What's your favorite pizza? Do you eat pizza?
I do. I love pizza. I'm trying to be good at the moment, so I haven't had one for a while. But something with Induja peppers on it would be good.
What peppers?
It's spicy. Is it Induja? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. N''Duja. Induja.
Is that a British thing? Is that a British pepper?
No, he's just trying to sound like a posh bastard.
It's just a pepper. It's not posh. It's at Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's is posh. What's the matter with you? We can't buy stuff in Sainsbury's. You're rich. We go to Lidl's and Aldi's. That's where we go shopping.
I didn't say Waitrose.
We don't even go in Tesco's, mate.
Carmen the Diva with the treats, the doggy version of jewelry and compliments. You want another
Yeah.
one? Your cat. You get another one because of cat. You get another one because of cat. She's having these blue.
This is Ollie's favorite part of the month. I was going to say week. But
It sure is.
what's that?
Oh,
What's that called? Bits.
She loves live stream day. Yeah, it's called. You should get these for Ralph and Chico. They're blue bits. This is the tasty chicken recipe.
Okay.
Oh, you could have that on your pizza.
Yeah, you could have that on your
Yeah.
pizza. Well,
The
Garrett
doggy
could have it on
pizza.
his pizza. I don't know. Nebraska is great. June Squibb rocks. Did you guys like that one? That's
Yeah.
David Lynch.
Yeah,
film,
June
you guys
June
know.
Squibb's one of the that plays his wife in it. Such a brilliant film. And one of Bruce Dern's best performances as well, I think.
I got a lot of movies tonight. Good evening, everyone. Hey, John.
Hi, John.
One of Dern's earlier roles was as the bad guy in The Cowboys. He actually killed John Wayne, shot him in the back. Have you guys seen that? The Cowboys?
I would have done at some point, I'm sure, but I don't remember it. I used to watch a lot of westerns on Saturday and Sunday afternoons with my stepdad.
Oh.
It's a bit of a thing.
Huh.
Westerns on our TV in the old days when I was younger, like 70s and 80s. On a weekend, they'd always chuck a western on. So, and it does ring a bell. Bruce Dean playing a villain.
But he was the fan, and you were just forced to watch it, or you liked them?
Yeah. I watched a lot of westerns through him, so I just happened to be in the front room, and I just said, "You get sucked in, didn't you?" But he liked like Lethal Weapon and Bruce Lee, and he basically he was proper blokey who liked action films, you know.
I'll tell you what, I not really a fan of westerns either in literature or movies, but one of the few there's a small like group of movies that I have seen over and over that I could watch them endlessly, you know, and the Young Guns movies are like that.
Yeah.
I go watch those again. Why are you laughing, Gavin? Why are you laughing?
They're probably just not the first westerns I would have thought
of.
Modern day westerns, sort of modern day westerns.
I think it's criminal that Emilio Estevez is really underrated.
Yeah,
I think he's a brilliant actor, but
yeah,
he did a great film that he wrote and directed himself called Wisdom. It's like plays like a Robin Hood kind of character. It's about a guy who robs from banks. Demi Moore plays his girlfriend in it, and he robs from banks to give to the people, like community. It's a bit of a Robin Hood sort of allegory, and it's really good. Yeah, Wisdom. And it's got one of my favorite Danny Elfman scores as well.
Oh,
there we are. Wisdom.
John.
Talking a lot about films today. It's cool, isn't it?
14. Oh, so there's 14 yeah, once again, we're talking about a bunch of movies that I don't know a lot of details about. So Wheel of Time is 14 main and a prequel, according to Jenny. So that must have been because Sanderson wrote the last three, right? Did he write the last three? Anyone?
I don't know. I know he finished them, but I don't know how many he wrote. Bueller.
I think there was three. I think there was three.
If there's 14 main ones, and I've got 12 there, and that's written with Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. So he did.
He wrote the last three.
12, 13, 14. Then is that what we think?
Was it the case that Robert Jordan had written these plots, and then Brandon Sanderson just wrote the books, or was it that he kind of tried to imagine what the plots would have been? And
I think it's probably going to be a bit of both. I mean, if he's 12 books in or 11 books in and a prequel, he must have had an idea of where he was going to take it.
I suppose it depends on how Robert Jordan died. If he had enough time to talk to Brandon Sanderson about it, if he was
no, he didn't. He was appointed by Jordan's wife, who was like a book editor.
Yeah,
or maybe is a book editor.
Oh, maybe she knew then. Maybe she knew what he was doing with it.
I think she picked him out. I don't know if Robert Jordan
maybe she was helping editing his books, and maybe she knew where he was going with it. So, someone will know. Jenny will know.
that was the story that I had. Not that I'm a Wheel of Time expert. That was a story that I had heard, that she specifically picked him to finish off the series for Jordan. For Wheel of Time. See, now Jenny knows by the time that we get to that we're not going to know what she's referencing. Although we did, but that there's a good chance we wouldn't know, so she knows to qualify it. Hey, William.
Hi, William.
Oh, William.
Tasting milk makes me wonder if you were actually talking about milk.
Well, have I got some sort of like natural innuendo going on there? Whatever I say, it sounds suggestive. Do you like?
No, Jenny,
milk?
you've heard of dry dairy January, right? Haven't you? You know, where
See,
we
now,
don't drink
now
any,
Dave sounds like he's
any
being filthy.
dairy for the whole month of January. Do you have dry January in the UK?
We have dry January, but it's normally not having alcohol.
Gareth.
Or at least not on your cornflake.
I got to spell it out. No, I wasn't talking about milk.
Okay.
We do not actually have a dry dairy January.
I thought it was a bit weird, to be fair. You guys are weird. I don't know. You might have something like that.
I mean, there might be a dry dairy January. I don't know.
I think it's something we should start.
Somewhere. I'd actually never drink milk. I don't drink milk.
Well, it's a very important part of your family. You were saying it's you know, it's a huge part of your heritage.
Although that story was true, that actually was milk. My grandfather was a milkman that drove the truck and delivered the bottled milk to the doorsteps.
And you said you come from Milk County in
although
New Jersey.
My grandfather also later in life, or a big part of his career, also worked as a salesman for a beer distributor.
Okay.
So it all comes around.
Is that because he at one point he went, "Oh no, this is actually milk. I thought it wasn't milk. I thought it was all euphemisms." And then he went for the beer instead.
Oh boy. Oh, Jenny. Hey, William. I love that your grandma has a milkman story.
I
think it reminds my.
Do you remember the Monty Python sketch where the woman lures the milkman into that room and there's like 50 of them in there?
Wait, which one?
Good. There's a Monty Python sketch where the milkman goes to the door and this woman that's kind of dressed up just in underwear kind of lures him into the house, and he's like, it's Michael Palin, I think. He's just looking behind him going, "Oh," and he goes in the house, and then she takes him into a room and closes the door. There's about 50 milkmen in the room, like they've been there for ages with long beards. They just been trapped in there.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that one. Yeah,
it's a good one. It's very short.
I've had practiced my sass and streams today.
I need to do my 10 favorite Python sketches.
Had some fun this morning. No, it was fun.
That was a bit another video that nobody gives a shit about.
Noah, now I feel bad. I should probably know who's Noah that we're talking about here.
No,
You guys know? I guess it was a live stream. Noah had a live stream today.
Oh, I
Let's try
don't know.
All right, tell us who's Noah, Cat or Jenny.
If it was on his channel, then I might not have got a notification because I was obviously subscribed to Cat's channel, but don't know about Noah.
Yeah. I just uploaded my latest video in my comparing books playlist. Oh, I didn't see that. So tell us what that is, William. That's like if you like this, you'll like that or something, or comparing books of similar.
Yeah. Which ones did you compare this time?
I had Hermits, then Noah, and now here. Good thing most people know what I'm like. It's like a
Rubber Soul.
Live streamer extraordinaire.
What's that? What's that reference?
That's
to,
another
Dave?
David Lynch.
No, that's a Beatles. That's a Beatles album.
Oh. That's what we gotta say. Dave, start with guards. That's what everybody says. Then Weird Sisters.
It is a good one.
But isn't Weird Sisters the one that Joe hated?
Heidi said, people who pick up Color of Magic Verse don't pick up another one. Maybe this is like a new thing, because when it came out, that was, the one that you read because that was the first one, and that was, you didn't have any others to read. And I didn't go, well, this bollocks, I ain't gonna read another one. I read loads.
You know what I'm gonna
So,
do, and
must
then
be a new
I'll
thing.
report. I'll report back. You guys know on the channel Alan from Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really watch him much anymore, but he's like a Discworld expert. And he did a video on Discworld a long, long time ago. And he dealt with all this stuff, like about different places to start and the benefits of all. It was like a really in-depth thing. And I saved it. I forgot everything he said, but I saved it because I knew that one day I was going to read Discworld. So I'll have to go back and watch that and see what.
I don't know.
Said.
For me, it's like watching a film series without seeing the first film. To me, not necessarily about the rest of the books, but the first one is such a setup book that to me it just feels like obvious to read Color of Magic.
Yeah,
I'm
sure I'll read it.
To take it to films, think of it like James Bond. So Dr. No, the first James Bond film, not really like the rest of them.
Yeah,
it's very pared down. It doesn't. It's not humorous at all. Because the Color of Magic is humorous, obviously. But,
I was just thinking. I don't know if you were saying that because Color of Magic is definitely. There's not as much plot beats in it.
It's doing a lot of the world building, which he then he takes it for granted that you know about it for every other book that comes after. So I think it's doing a bit of the heavy lifting,
which is why I think it's a good one to start with. I don't really get why people don't.
I remember that. There's a huge section in it where he's just talking about how the Discworld works from like a sunset, or a daytime, nighttime perspective.
Yeah.
Or the theological implications of what people imagine about the Discworld, that it might be elephants all the way down. People who believe that the world is a disc, but they don't believe in the turtle.
And I remember there was a little bit of magic about when Rincewind and Two Flower were introduced. There was something really kind of special about that, because they're obviously the two main characters in it. I don't know. I hear what Heidi's saying. I hear it a lot, but I don't get it. I'd say read the first one and then read whatever you want after that.
Yeah. James Roberts' The Fog is one of my favorite horror books. I read it as a kid thinking it'd be like John Carpenter's film. Nope, they're not similar at all.
Nope.
Okay. That's on the list. That's on the list for me. I'm going to watch The Thing this weekend after Jack's from Sci-Fi Finds recent review.
Oh, does that mean, Heidi, have you not seen it? Wow.
Yeah.
I know several people and who would say it's their favorite film, and it's definitely in my top 3. That film is incredible. Perfect film.
Yeah, I know you talk about it all the time. I actually have not seen that yet either.
No way! Oh my God! You gotta see it. Oh wow! It's incredible.
I've gotten close a couple times, but
it's one of those films that shouldn't be as good as it is. I think every single line of dialogue is brilliant, and it's like people don't make films like that where there's no wasted footage. It's all like, and then the ending is amazing, but unexpected, and it's just incredible. And obviously, infamously, the effects are insane, and all practical.
So Heidi, I am also going to watch it this weekend.
Yeah,
we could talk about it in the next show.
Oh, that'd be! I'm well excited.
You're going to rewatch it, aren't you?
We have to get Pat to watch it. I don't know if Pat's seen it or not. What's this, Gareth? Do you like all the new wave? If I was to pick a genre that I love the most, because obviously me being a music obsessive, I can't say that I don't love every genre because I do. But I realised that new wave was my thing. That's what I love the most. So a lot of my favourite bands are from new wave. So Boingo, XTC, Police, Talking Heads, Midnight Oil, In Excess. Those are kind of my favourite bands, and like a lot of later stuff. So if I really love it, I go, oh, actually, that's just a later version of new wave, so that's why I love it. And I love new wave, yeah, absolutely. Out of those ones that you said, Depeche Mode is my favorite out of that list. Echo and the Bunnymen, I think, nips into post-punk a little bit, but like The Cure and that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely. But I'm a big new wave man myself, and I get very excited when I get to the point where I can teach my students about new wave, which is coming up soon. Actually, we need to do glam rock and proto punk and punk, and then we're going to get on to new wave, and they'll be like, "Yeah, all right, Gareth, you've been talking for an hour. Can we move on?"
What's the name of that class?
It's the main course I teach. I got 4 different classes that are all doing my music performance course. It's a foundation diploma in music performance, so they get graded for their performing, and they have to do work on the different music genres and on the industry, how the industry works and how publishing works, and that kind of thing as well. It's cool. It's a good course.
The video games,
Oh.
fan fiction. Interesting.
Nice.
Heidi loves eggplant on her pizza. Fried chicken is pretty good, but ditch the onions. White cheeses, chicken, and pesto. Interesting, Constance. That is an interesting pizza. Buffalo chicken pizza in forever, and now I'm gonna have to make one if we're gonna talk pizzas. Yeah, I might have to do an episode instead of pizzas, instead of biscuits. While I'm talking about meat. I'll hit the like button and soon scoot. Thanks, Elaine.
Thanks, Elaine. Hi, Elaine.
Whoop! What did I do here?
Oop. We haven't got to the end, surely.
I think we're catching up. It would be weird. A little while with us, help cause mischief.
If we got to the end, that means nobody's talking.
Elaine's gonna know. Elaine's doing. I know she's doing a read through of the Wheel of Time. I don't know if she's doing a read through of all of them.
Do some people say just read the first 8 or something? Or
yeah, it trails off halfway through book 9. I don't know why.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm very envious at times because I was like, I don't go to Barnes and Noble anymore because I like so many books and I keep going to these used book things. But we went to Barnes and Noble the other day because my daughters, we gave them all Barnes and Noble gift certificates at Christmas.
Yeah.
So we made a family trip out of it. So I was looking around and God, right on the front table, I saw that. What is the last one? Wind and Truth? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. The new one from Brandon Sanderson.
And I was like, I hear everybody talk about these, and I would so much love to read them. It would take me a year to read one of those books. It would take me so long. It's like that thing was like, it was ridiculous. It was $40. It was so big. Gavin's probably already read it, right, Gavin? I don't know.
No Fat Fantasy this year.
That thing was so humongous that it was literally a $40 book.
Yeah.
I mean, I could never read that. I would never make it through.
I think the sign of a proper bookworm is someone who reads tons of fantasy series because it must take them so many hours to get through. So.
Yeah. I mean, fantasy tends to be that way, right? But I mean, there's still like, I don't know. I mean, like Mistborn wasn't, I mean, I don't read the first one, but Mistborn wasn't that bad. You know what I mean?
I'm going to mention that in a minute.
Okay. All right.
Chunky,
I'll hold that
they're
up.
quick reads. And then the second series isn't that chunky at all.
Yeah.
Right.
So he can do them like reasonably sized, but if he wants to. Carried on what Jordan had planned, I believe. Okay.
Right.
Yep. Brando wrote the last 3, and he wrote my favorite, The Gathering Storm. Oh, okay.
Ah, cool.
Substantial notes to work. Oh, he has substantial notes to work from.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Emilio Estevez, and not mention
Breakfast Club?
Mighty Ducks. Truly his real masterpiece.
Yeah, to be fair, what Gavin just said, his performance in Breakfast Club is amazing. He's got a lot to do in that film. Yeah, he's got that.
Well, they all did a great job in Breakfast Club.
They did, yeah, they did.
Nerd Forge.
And Anthony Michael Hall's character is like quite intense as well. He had a lot to do in that.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? You can't read it. Right? I guess just for the novelty. Colorless Furby's cat. Our buddy read group on book 1 going through 2026 for the whole series. See, I tried to do this with either you guys see Mike's book reviews, pretty big channel.
Yeah. I love his channel.
Yeah. He was one of the first channels that I binged way back when I started, when I had my rotator cuff surgery, and I was just like sitting in the chair for days, just like watching book 2. I watched him a lot. And he started a Malazan, or however you pronounce it, Malazan, or the half dozen other ways. He started one of those read-alongs, and I made it. Talk about difficult, long fantasy books. I made it halfway through the second one. It wasn't that I didn't like them. It was like, all right, I'm gonna have to come back like 5 years from now.
I just don't want to work that hard. Do you know what I mean? I want reading to be fun rather than a chore, like a puzzle to solve. I'm not, if I wanted that, I'd do crosswords, So yeah.
Have you read any of those? Have you read any of those, Gavin?
No, I've got the first 2 on the shelves, not read them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're complex.
They are complex, and they're purposefully complex, so it's, I mean, they were good, but like I'm actually not a super experienced fantasy reader, and they say you need to be before you go into those, because like I think a lot of what Erickson did was specifically to play on fantasy tropes and turn things on their head and stuff like that. So you step into that first book, and it's like, I mean, there's a lot going on there, and he starts that book like all your typical fantasy series, right? They start with like your young hero or anti-hero, and you see him growing and him evolve and everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the cliche.
Same pattern. And this is like that Malazan is like total media res. You're thrown right in the middle of this massive war with just massive amounts of characters, and it's just right in the middle of it. And like you're already supposed to know what's going on. There's no build up, there's no evolution. It's just like completely thrown in media res. And it's like, and there's a glossary like in the back of the book, which I didn't realize until I was like 2/3 of the way through, which would have helped a little bit, because there's things like floating mountains and stuff like there, and they just have names, and I'm like confused, like what the F is going on here. Yeah. The glossary would have helped me, but I didn't even know it was there until I was a good way through the book.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's just it's a lot. It's a lot, and you got to be experienced and prepared to take it on. That's why so many people fail, and they got to give it like 3 shots over the course of their life to actually like make it all the way through.
But I think you've got to be the kind of reader that wants that, right?
Yeah. But I think probably a lot of like people that are very experienced with epic fantasy, I mean, eventually are looking for that, right? Because they're tired of the same old thing. And
yeah, there's a lot of repetition in fantasy in general. So yeah, that I see that. Yeah. But I think that's what people like as well. I think people like the familiarity of fantasy as well.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I mean, Malazan is, it's like people love it or they hate it, pretty much. Yeah.
Repo Man's a great film.
That's Alex Cox.
Alex Cox, yeah. Alex Cox used to introduce films on a late BBC Two
Movie Drone.
Movie Drone, that's it. Yeah, it was well good. And my sister used to go, "Oh, he's just like you." He is. Because I was really young then, I was like massively obsessed with films in a really kind of geeky way, and she just thought it was really sad and stupid. So she go, "Oh, he's like you," because we'd be watching him introduce these films. And, yeah. But yeah, Repo Man is a great film. That's is it Harry Dean Stanton as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. who's obviously in Alien, which also featured John Hurt, and John Hurt was Elephant Man in David Lynch's Elephant Man. Go back to David Lynch.
Yeah, Lee, there's so many movies that like it's been so many years since I've seen them. I feel like I need to watch them again. Yet there's still so many I haven't seen yet.
Just
so
watch
it's hard
Alien
to,
again.
like,
Just any excuse to watch Alien again, go for it. And I think that's another masterpiece.
So John is telling me to see Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, 1973. You can be excused. Yes. You would have still been a teenager. All right. Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid. Okay.
It's a great film.
Was a moonshiner, point of family pride. Never mind anyway. Anyway, Club 2, yeah. Jenny Parks. I see you two are still up to mischief. Always. They're always up to mischief. Noah is Bookworm.
Okay. Bookworm. Yeah.
It's the Outsiders too. Yep. Live stream this morning. The Bookworm.
Okay.
Cloud Atlas to Cloud. Oh yeah, because you were talking about that one previously, William. The last one you were on the open mic. Okay.
Yeah, Jack from Spreadbook Joy's been talking about that as well.
No.
She's been talking about that.
Guards, and Weird Sisters. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he did say Guards. I remember him talking about that.
It's a very popular one for people to suggest. But
one of the openers.
And it is a really good book.
So, Gareth, would you say best of Pratchett, not the worst? So, Gareth, would you say a reasonable approach would be to read Color of Magic and then Guards?
Well, clearly I'm going to be pissing people off, but I think it makes sense to read the first one to me because like Gav says, there's lots of world building in it, and then read the others, read whatever you want. But for me, I just think the first one makes sense.
I mean, do you think that you should an approach like that is okay, or that you should read the whole thing in order?
No, I don't think it matters what order you read them after that at all. And it doesn't really matter if you go for the advice and just read the City Watch stuff and just ignore the first 8 books if you want. But I think the thing with the Discworld series is there's a style to them. So if you like the books, you're probably going to like a lot of them. There are better and worse ones, but it's just like he just takes different scenarios, different characters, and different social commentary things he wants to look at, and just sticks it on Discworld. It just happens to be the same kind of world building he's got around it, but they are different. But Pratchett's got a very distinctive way of writing, which makes it special. That's why people love it, I think, because it's the way he writes.
Okay.
You know.
All right. I think it was Ven that told me I need to read Weird Sisters. Said it had some fairy tale elements too. I did Guards. I loved it, so I'm back and now I'm reading them chronologically. Oh, okay. You know she did immediately off the bat. She's good. Never watched the thing, yeah. Okay, I love all the witch books. Started with the Tiffany books. Couldn't get into them when I tried next. Not sure which one that was. Not sure which one that was.
Tiffany books.
You know what the which one is? The Tiffany ones?
I don't know which ones there are, but there is a. Is it like the We Free Men or something like that?
Is that the Tiffany books?
Well, I think that's where that started.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
I haven't read many of the later ones at all.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the early ones. I've read 2 of the witch ones. My favourite ones are the ones that are built around death. That's why Mort's my favourite one. But Reaper Man's really good, and
Eric.
Soul Music's really good. Eric's good, yeah.
Jenny says I have them all, and I'm up to Reaper Man.
Oh, yeah, Reaper Man's so good, so good. But he's the best character. Death is the best character, and that's one of the lovely things in Colour of Magic. Straight away, when Death speaks, it's in capital letters, and I just think that alone is awesome. And and he's just got this really dry approach, this dry humor. Death has, yeah.
Cat's asking
awesome.
how many there are in the series.
43, something like that.
Is that right? That many?
That's shitloads, yeah.
Brandon
Yeah,
Sanderson writes them now.
He would never. He would never. 41.
I don't know. Oh, is it 41? I don't think anyone would copy Pratchett's style. I don't know anyone that writes like he does, really. There's been people that have tried, like what's that guy's name? There's some that do comic fantasy, but they don't do it like Pratchett, because Pratchett's not really silly. It's like there's a dryness to it. But is it Robert Rankin was one I was thinking of that does comic fantasy, but his is more farcical and silly, a bit more like how I write. Robert Aspirin, a little bit, but I'd say
yeah.
I still don't think he's the same. Yeah. There's been people that have picked up on his style, but I don't think they've done it.
You guys seen They Live?
Yes, that's got the best line in late 20th century cinema, and Gareth knows what the line is.
Go on.
Is it a spoiler to say it?
No.
What's the line?
I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's a good line.
Yeah. It's a great film.
He's not the guy who's an actor in that, who's the main actor in that, was not an actor, was he? He's like a wrestler.
No, he's a wrestler. Yeah. And there's the longest fight scene in cinema or something is in that film, I think, something like that, between two people.
Is that true?
I think so. It's a stupidly long scene. I don't know if that's been beaten now by Wolverine and Deadpool. I don't know. That seemed to go on forever, but that might have been just because I thought, okay, I've had enough now. Can you stop that scene? I love the film, by the way, but that's that bit in the car in the third Deadpool film. I thought it was just pointless.
I've not seen the third one yet.
It's really good, but I don't think it's as good as the second one.
I've seen the thing, but I read the novella Who Goes There. That is based on for Rocket Summer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant, that story.
All 15 Wheel of Time. You go, Elaine. Wait, now she says 15. Oh, because the prequel.
Yeah.
Deny all you want, or to you. Can Brits plead the fifth? Oh, that's about owning all of them. Is that right, Elaine? It's your second time through?
Oh, she loves it then. That's cool.
Wow, you must love it. That's impressive. Have to suffer orange. Although I group read The Handmaid's Tale with Elaine in this past spring, and she that shouldn't surprise me because she literally read it twice in a row, like read it and then went back to page one and just reread it again immediately. Like, because she wanted to read it fast because it was exciting, and then wanted to read it slower so that she could literally.
Who was that? Who was that?
That was Elaine.
That was Elaine. That's cool. I like that. I'll tell you what, I just finished a book that I was really tempted to just read again straight away. I'll talk about it in a minute, but it was
I know. I'll let you
enjoyable.
say it.
Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Even though it's some of it's horrible. But I really enjoyed it. Little spoilers, isn't it? Like, anticipation. I'm just saying, in a minute I'll talk about this. And they go, oh.
I don't know which book you're on about.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Stormlight is Drek. I don't know what that means. That's some newfangled term or something?
It's Drek. You're not missing out. I think she means it's a load of crap. Say it's a load of crap, I think. Unless it's a typo.
Live ship traders and the Bloodsworn. Well, I think We'll get to that in a minute, but I think we're going to be doing some Hob
Yeah,
and the
I couldn't find my
Bloodborne
Robin
Saga.
Hood books. I haven't got my Robin Hood books there because I couldn't find them. I'm a bit worried about whether I'm actually going to be able to find them. But I am going in the loft again this weekend, so I'll try and find them.
Which one's Bloodsworn? Is that Gwyn? I don't remember. Remind
John
me.
Gwynn.
So she didn't like Stormlight Archives, huh?
Hmm.
So have you? Oh my God! I'm just trying to catch up so we can talk about the fantasy, but we'll never catch. Oh no, yeah, we'll never catch up. So have you? I guess we just got to work it in. So have you read any of this, Gavin? Have you read any of the Stormlight Archives?
I have not read the Stormlight Archives. I've read for Sanderson. I've read the first Mistborn trilogy. I've read the first book of the second Mistborn trilogy, and I've read a couple of the Skyward novels, which is his sci-fi stuff.
Okay. So
I've got Way of Kings, which I've not read yet.
Yeah, that's a chunker.
Yeah.
That's the thing. For me, I would have to literally put aside an entire month and only for that, and maybe I would finish it. Probably not. I would probably have to go 2 months to finish Way of Kings.
That's the problem with me as well. When I read The Invisible Man, it literally took me a month and a half, and that was not really reading a lot else. So it's a bit of a commitment that I don't know. It just means you're not effectively not reading because you're just reading one thing for an entire month. It just seems a bit.
What did you think, Gavin, of the Mist? Because Gareth and I both only read the first Mistborn book. What did you think of that whole trilogy? The first one?
I think it's good. It's a proper page turner. I like the fact that you turn up after this big event has happened, or years after this big event, and the evil has won, and this is how people are trying to deal with it. I think the magic is really well worked out. I think it gets a little bit more complicated, and where he puts layers on as the books go on, which I'm not entirely sure you need that. But I like how balanced all of the skills he's saying people are imbued with. I like how balanced they are.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to like in it. I think the whole idea of it being a heist is really good as well. The first book.
I love the first book.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it enough to sort of get the second trilogy, and I enjoyed this first book of the second trilogy well enough, not as much as the first lot, but I've still got that to finish. So,
but you are going to keep going with it.
I will at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that first Mistborn. That was pretty cool. It was a pretty unique magic system, and there's one of those ones where I really liked it. But the second book was like 800 pages, so I just needed a break. Like the first one was like 550 or something. The second one was like 800, so I just needed to take a break. And then that was now like 2-3 years ago, and I just never. And now I don't know if I need to I'm not going to reread the first book. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to read a summary of it or something just to get refreshed. Because
you don't need to read the whole thing again. It tells you everything you need to.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Well of Ascension, yeah.
So 730 pages, I think, this copy.
Yeah,
they are quick though. I mean, it's a quick 730 pages.
No, you are right. When you look at it, you go, "Oh my god!" And actually, the way you write, so you can just like lap it up, can't you? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I like those.
Writes them so quick.
What did you say, Gavin?
I don't know if it's because he writes them so quick. That's how they read as well.
Oh,
yeah, maybe because there is a don't know, the people that have got more heavy prose, you can't just rattle through them because you're not taking it in, are you? So yeah,
no,
it's almost conversational, isn't it, the way he writes?
Exactly. There's a lot of dialogue in it, and it's not like there are lots of tiny hints in every single page that you will go back and find. It just drags you along because it's an adventure story.
Yeah.
It's not there to be pondered and teased out. It's just like, right, what's happening next?
Yeah, which is why they're kind of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not gonna. I don't think it's. I've only read one book, but I can't imagine there's a particular analysis of the way our brains work or something, or social commentary really. But it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Really, from what I can tell.
Yeah. We got to get back to him. Keep the talking. I don't know what she's saying. Do you know what she's saying?
You can
Talking.
You can keep the talking. What's it, cat?
Oh yeah, that's the president elect.
Oh,
You can keep the talking. What's it?
Pluto.
Yeah, what's it's an orange snack over here.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, trouble is we can't ignore him because he's the leader of the most powerful country in the world.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Well,
I haven't heard his voice for a good week or so, which has been really nice.
the thing he craves the most in this life is attention. So just don't give it to him.
Yeah, that'll do him, wouldn't
That
it?
would be brilliant if, like,
Yeah.
no one turns up to his press conferences. No one asks any questions. It's just like, no, we don't care.
Yeah, trouble is the opposite happens. He's literally all over the TV all the time.
Yeah, well,
They love him.
78 years old. Fingers crossed.
Oh, that'd be a good day.
The problem is he's in pretty good health.
Is he?
You know, he doesn't,
Really?
and he doesn't drink. He doesn't
Are we
smoke.
talking about the same person?
We are. He's in pretty good health. You think he's not?
No, I've seen pictures of him.
I mean, for his age.
Yeah.
No, I mean
he can't stand up straight. He's a really weird shape. He
Well, he says some weird shit. That's true.
Oh,
I mean, yes, he has this glow, but it's painted on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You think about, I mean, it's all well deserved, but you think about all the stuff he's kind of an animal in terms of just like he just keeps going, and like I don't know when the guy sleeps, and
so he's a scientific experiment, is he? Is that what it's about?
He sleeps at the funerals of previous presidents and at trials.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. Like, so like.
He should try.
I'm too busy doing it for him. Mistborn was great, but currently reading the second one of the Broken Earth trilogy. Yeah,
Terry Brooks. Terry Brooks was a really big thing for me when I was a teenager. So I read the first 3 Shannara books when I was a teenager.
That's Broken Earth?
I was like 14. That's N.K.
Jemisin.
I'm
thinking of N.K. Jemisin.
Yeah. Yeah, Broken Earth is like the fifth something. What's it called? Can't remember what it's called. But yeah, N.K. Jemisin's Broken Earth trilogy. It's I think you've read the first one, haven't you, Dave?
I have it, but I haven't read it. Why are you talking about Terry Brooks though?
Well,
you got me confused.
Because this person.
Oh! I didn't see.
I'm not gonna name her. She said she's reading Terry Brooks as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And Terry Brooks was an important name for me when I was younger, because soon after I read Lord of the Rings, I read the first 3 Shannara books, and I absolutely loved them when I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
And then I read the Belgariad, but we can't really talk about the Belgariad anymore because David Eddings is a wrong in a big way.
You're one of those. I thought you were separating the artist from the art guy. No.
Yeah, no, I am, and I want to reread them, but it just seems to be. I'm happy to read the stuff, but it just seems to be. I think the best way of phrasing it, and I don't want to do another video about it because it just seems like you're just sort of exploiting the situation. But I feel like it's a bit of an insult to the people that have been victims of these things. But to go on about it on the channel, like, you know, if I did a review of the Belgariad, then it seems to be like, and then ignored the paedophilia, then I would want to reread it, and I will reread them. I've still got them, but to talk about it a lot just seems to be a bit of an insult to the people that he abused. Do you know what I mean? That's my position. So I'm happy to read them, and I'm not thinking about him when I'm reading it.
Mm-hmm.
But to talk about it on the channel just seems to be like you're insulting those people. That's my take on it.
Okay.
Don't know.
I think you'd have such a list of people you couldn't read.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, true. That is,
And then
that is a
just as
problem.
long, and then just as long a list of people that you shouldn't, but you just don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Do you do a massive investigation before you read your first book of someone, just in
Right.
case they're wrong? And you know, it's difficult, isn't it? Well, it's not difficult. I feel like you don't do any investigation beforehand, and if you can read it without thinking about the author, that's cool. But I just, it's just about what you say about on the channel. I think is different.
Yeah.
You know, be respectful for
Yeah.
the victims.
Yeah.
Really.
No, I understand what you're saying. Heidi's starting Malazan in February. Good for you, Heidi, and good luck. Malazan, but I have too many open series. Yes, you do, Jenny. You put that off for a little bit. you gotta be ready to dedicate yourself. Do mind webs to keep characters that are straight, pretty colors, super fun. I'm not sure.
That was.
Do mind webs to keep characters that are straight. So it must be a typo.
Yeah, but I think I was talking about Flash Gordon and June maybe at that point. Not sure.
Oh,
Three colors. Don't know.
I think we're getting close. Well, I don't know how y'all do epic fantasy so long. I get so lost following all those chunkster books. Yep.
Yeah.
Very captions, so you don't actually get lost in most of them. His series is Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. 30 years later, he wrote the sequel series, The Last King of Boston Art. I love it. Oh my God, so many series. Counting my Da Vinci Spiral books and listening. What are the Da Vinci Spiral books?
That's the Dan Brown stuff, is it?
Spiral? Oh, yeah. Spiral was another one of the books, right?
What?
I think Spiral was another one of Dan Brown's books.
Oh yeah, Dan Brown. Yeah. I've never really been curious about those.
Fantasy, I don't read a lot. Fantasy is a book series form. I can't afford much book.
Yeah, in the old days, the book series didn't be as long. You didn't get 14 book series. You'd have like a trilogy, or you might get 5, and that was seen as, in the old, when the Belgariad came out, 5 was a big series. It was like, oh my god, that's 5 books, Jesus! And they're not like enormous books either. They're like 400 pages each one. Yeah, I think Enchanter's Endgame, the last one's a little bit longer. It might be 500, but they're not crazy length, and there's only 5. And definitely in those days, that seemed to be a lot. But now it seems like authors just keep going. They just write.
I think you have to. I mean, just for the sort of publishing thing, it's like, well,
yeah, I know why they do it. Yeah, absolutely. Although, as well, from a writer's perspective, you know, I want to keep writing about the Brown Yelp Gang. You do get affectionate for the characters. Do you know what I mean? When I do write,
do they have to be a series? Can it not just be a collection of books about those characters?
true.
I think I'd almost prefer that.
Yeah, you're right.
I think the pitfalls of doing big series is that you have to keep finding, you know, a bigger, badder threat every single time, which means that you've either got the one big threat throughout the whole series, which means the first 2 books of your series are going to be world building and sowing all of the, all of the stuff that's going to happen. And I said, well, no, just get on with it. Do that in 50
Yeah,
pages.
yeah. No, you're right.
Just have a series of capers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because if you're gonna go, what, I'm gonna make this a 10-book series, the canvas has to be huge for it to make sense. Otherwise, there's no point. You're just wasting time.
If you've got it all planned out and it's gonna hit all the beats all the way through, fine. I mean, I've not written a fantasy series, so I'm not one to talk. So, but I think if you start if you start off with a really big book and then all of a sudden you've got to top that and it just gets more and more outlandish and terrible, and you're trying to top yourself each time. It's
I tell you what, I did some world building, a lot more than I'd done before in my first novel, Out Among the Ice Beacons, and Michael K. Vaughan said that he wished there was more of it, and I didn't want to write anymore because I felt like I didn't want it to be like that kind of pace. I wanted it to be like a quicker pace thing, just not to be bogged down with 4 chapters of me building the world up. Do you know what I mean? So it was like an ice planet, and there were certain things in it about them living underground and like certain things that were part of their rituals and stuff. But once I'd established that, I wanted to get on with the what was happening to the 3 kids, the main characters, so I wouldn't want to write tons and tons of world building. So don't know. I can't relate to it as a very amateur writer.
Ridley Scott wanted to kill Ripley.
Yes.
Huh. Did not know that.
Yeah. That first film had about 5 different rewrites, but it was still brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, they kept rewriting it. The original idea was completely different.
What YA fantasy, Cat? You guys ever read any YA fantasy?
I am about to mention. I forgot to bring it down, but I am going to hopefully read 6 of Crows next month.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that'd be my first Lee Berdigo book.
Yeah, my daughters have that. I haven't read it yet, but
it's another heist book. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that. 6 of Crows.
I read is Court of Thorn and Roses YA.
Oh yeah, the hackathon.
So I read that as part of MJ's I'm with the band.
Yeah.
Because it's for some reason been banned in, I want to say Utah. I think it's Utah.
Yeah. For the sexiness.
Really that sexy?
Yeah. Well, the second one's apparently a lot more sexy.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
Right.
It was very. I mean, it's a combination of Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
It's not reinventing the wheel. I'll put it that way. It's not terrible, but probably.
Did you pick it up thinking, right, let's see what happens next, or did you pick it up thinking, well, I'll have to read the next bit, I suppose?
Towards the end, it picks up a bit. There's bits in the middle where the action is sagging a bit,
right? Okay.
And it is very much, she's finding her way around the castle that she's been taken to, and it's just like, yep, okay,
right.
I think I know where this might be going.
That's the worst thing, though, isn't it? If you want to read something and finish it, but it's not really working, and it's just that thing about, oh, do you want to do some reading tonight? That means I'm going to read that. Do I really want to pick that up and read it? Well, I am going to finish it. Oh, I'll have to read it. Do you know what I mean? And it ends up being a pain in the ass rather than, oh, I can't wait to find some time to read tonight.
That's why I'm usually trying to read sort of 3 or 4 things.
Right, so you can juggle it a bit.
Yeah, you can then sort of be a mood reader whilst having a vague plan of what you want to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm offended, Cat. Lord of the Rings is perfect, especially along with the Andy Serkis audiobooks. Wait, doesn't Lord of the Rings is the one Jenny rereads every single year, right?
Yeah.
Margaret's here.
Margaret.
Oh,
Yeah, we're a little bit. We're catching up, Margaret. I was great. I confused the crap out of me the first time I tried to read it. Yeah. Yeah, Hobbit's fun. It's easy because it's meant for a younger
Yeah,
audience.
so it is a fun children's book.
T. Kingfisher writes a lot of fantasy novellas, and most are standalones. You guys read any T. Kingfisher?
no, I've heard Pat's been talking about Kingfisher. I think it's
Yeah.
Kingfisher.
He didn't write Who Moves the Dead, did he? That was someone else, right?
She. Yes.
Wasn't
What Moves the Dead?
Oh,
Yep.
I've read that. That was really good. I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have that. I was supposed to read for Horror Mayhem. It was like the 5th or 6th book that maybe I'll get to for Horror Mayhem, and I didn't get to it. So this Horror Mayhem.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I read
you'll like it.
The Hollow Places.
Oh,
which was the cool thing about Kingfisher is she's always playing off some other famous horror story, so like What Moves the Dead that was the House of Usher.
Yeah,
right?
Yes it was. Yeah.
And the Hollow Places, which was pretty cool. That was a pretty good book. That was a longer one. That was connected to the Willows by Algernon Blackwood.
Algernon Blackwood.
If you ever read the book. Yeah.
I've read that. I remember when I read it, it wasn't because I found it cheap in a charity shop. I thought, oh, I've heard that being mentioned a few times. Oh, I'll just bring it home, and because it might have been Horror Mayhem, and I was like, oh, I'll finish off the month with this because it's quite quick, and I didn't realize I was going to enjoy it so much. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. There's a second one now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't read that. Andy Serkis, what a guy. We love Andy Serkis, right? Gavin, you like Andy Serkis?
I love Andy Serkis.
Yeah. What a great man.
Oh, Margaret.
I love that.
That's right. He's got. I just learned. Who was telling me? Oh, Chaz from Bookish Chaz was talking about that a novella by Martin that I was thinking. I haven't read the Song of Ice and Fire books, but there was a nice little novella that I was thinking maybe I would pick up. I forget what it was called. You read, Gavin? You read the Song of Ice and Fire?
I think I've read them all. Trouble is, I read them in ebook, and I got them all in ebook, and I blitzed through what I think is all of them. So I'm not quite sure where he is supposed to have got up to compared to the TV series. But I got pretty far along in the books.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the TV series passed.
I think it was the last series. I think was the bit that went beyond. I think.
Yeah, I think the series has sort of wrapped it up. I think he's like 2 books behind or something.
Yeah.
I just read something. Yeah, he did. He did those 4. And then after many, many years, he finally did that 5th one, The Dance of Dragons, once the show came out. But now it's been over a decade since then. So he finally admitted recently that he may never finish.
Yeah, I think he said that he might not get to it now. And
supposedly,
I don't blame him.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I've got a lot of sympathy for him because everyone's attacked the show.
Hi, Brandon.
I don't believe for a minute he didn't give him some notes. Do you know what I mean? He must have said, I want this to happen.
Gavin's trying to get Brandon on the phone to finish off the series for him.
I think so. I heard someone say
that's what he should do. That's what he should do. I feel like this. I get torn about it. There's the same thing with the Rothfuss series. Which he gets like. I mean, I feel bad for him because he gets distraught, right? Because people have given him such a hard time because he never finished it. And I mean, a little torn about it because, right? Well, I feel like part of me says, well, the authors don't owe anything. They don't have to finish.
No, I don't think they do either.
What?
I don't think they do. I don't think they owe us anything.
But the other side is, though, if you peddle something as a series and you make people invest in it, both their time and their money, and then you don't deliver on completing the series, it's understandable why the audience gets upset about that, right?
Why aren't people going with their torches and their pitchforks to Netflix? Who, they take fully completed works, make a series out of the first book, and then decide to cancel it.
No.
Well, or any TV network that cancels a show after one season. That kept happening. That's happened so many times. Things are always stopping as far as starting a story and then it stopping as far as that kind of thing goes. And there must be other examples. I mean, Game of Thrones is obviously, Song of Ice and Fire is obviously really popular, so it's a bit different. But there must be loads of other examples of people that haven't finished their series because they died or couldn't finish it for some reason. There must be loads of examples.
I do think it's a shame though, because, and I haven't read them yet. I plan to, even though he's not going to finish it. I'll read them. But I do think it's a shame because he could have gone down as one of the greatest fantasy series of all time. Yeah, I mean, that could have been his legacy. And now he has this sort of like,
it's already been a big influence though, hasn't it?
Well, it has, right? But now you've got this whole messy legacy, right? That like a show that went beyond him and ended in a way, frankly, that sucked, and that he's very angry about, and that's not how he would have done it. And then talks about remedying that, but probably won't. And it's like it's a very messy story now, right? And it could have just been, one of the greatest fantasy series of all time. But I don't know. It just seems like a shame to me. Like I don't if he doesn't want to finish, he doesn't want to finish it. That's fine. That's up to him. It's just, it seems like kind of a shame.
But maybe, I don't know. Obviously people do keep saying that they want it to be finished. I haven't read them yet. I've got them up in the loft, but I haven't read them yet. But people are always saying it's not going to be one of the greatest things unless it's finished. But I feel like maybe that preserves it and stops it from being ruined, because these last two books might not be as good as the other five books. And maybe it can be one of the greatest series because he didn't finish it.
I mean, maybe that would be the normal case, but the problem is he authorized a show that then came in and did ruin it. And so the question is whether he's going to fix it or not, which he probably won't get around to, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that was all we've talked about that show, right? I mean, you weren't.
I liked it more than everybody else. I didn't like some of the inconsistencies with travel. But I personally think it makes absolute sense that she turned at the end, because there was loads of hints all the way through the series that she was going to do that. She was clearly a nutcase, even though she was my favorite character.
Did you watch it, Gavin?
I did. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
You didn't mind the ending?
It was a little bit weak, but it's nowhere near as bad as everyone made it out to be.
Oh, I thought it sucked. I thought it was very much like Lost. It was
Lost. Oh man, Dave, Lost is so much worse.
Most of it was worth the journey, but they totally failed us in the end. And
I made 1.5 seasons of Lost. That's all. That's as far as I got.
A half season?
I think it's bigger. Dave, Lost is a much bigger crime. It's a much bigger crime.
At the end of the first season, I'm going, I don't know where this is going. And halfway through the second, I'm going, they don't know.
Well, they did know some things. They when you get into season 4, there's 6 seasons, isn't there? That's right. There's 6 seasons of Lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first 5 seasons, there's a sense that they know what they're doing if you keep going, because they do explain some things and they develop some things. And then the last season, it's a fucking mess.
I've got a very low threshold when it comes to TV.
It drives me nutty. I was like, I used to love this, and it's doing my nutting. Yeah. And I didn't feel like that about Game of Thrones. But Lost did. I was annoyed by that whole season. And then the last episode was like, what are you doing? But my son-in-law, which I want to get him on the show. I want to get him on the show, Dave. He loves every single episode of Lost and loves the ending, loves everything about it.
Really?
Yeah, so he'd be this lone voice saying, I think it's all right.
You should get him on the show so he can.
Yeah,
explain,
I'll ask him if he wants to. If he'd be up for doing it. I've had my daughter on. Maybe her husband will come on.
All right, let me. All right, we were almost caught up, and now we're all right. Pat loves Kingfisher. 2 books to read their standalones: The Lions of Alracin and Glorious Exploits. 5 stars. Wasn't Heidi supposed to just send us a list? My precious Rage is here. What's up, Brian?
Hi, Brian.
Rage Biscuit.
He needs to come back on the show as well.
How many of us currently have a freak power lapse? Bean says hi. Hi, Bean. Oh.
She's talking about my microphone. That's my fairy companion.
Tiffany's Tina Witch. I think the wee men were in one of hers. Okay. Hey, Brian. See, that's how far we're behind again. I 82 books for my Da Vinci Spiral. Thankfully, read over half already. I think this project is going to be longer than 1 year. That sounds like quite a project. App would make it impossible for me to type messages and breathe. I've been Tiffany Haking. Haha. All right. Let's catch up here. Some more. Gareth, your favorite is the Death Ones. Yeah, that's your. What does that say about you, Gareth? That's your favorite,
I just think he's a really funny character. I think Terry Pratchett really enjoyed writing them as well. I think you can tell.
Go for work soon, so I'm going to head out. Okay, see you, Jenny. You're probably gone already.
We'll try and carry on without you.
Oh, Brian's here. Hey, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Hello.
Okay, Margaret, Brian.
It's Pat.
What was that?
Pat's
what
back.
did Margaret do there? Moon horse? What does that mean?
Moon horse. It's Margaret's own language for good luck. I hope you have a good week. That's what moon horse means. Moon horse to you as well, Margaret.
Everybody saying hi. One of the great bookish habits I've never done. Immediate reread. That's where we were when she left that comment. It was Elaine's immediate reread. Night, Jenny. Night, Jenny.
I told you there's a film that I immediately watched again, didn't I?
Which one was that?
Amelie.
Film?
A film. I watched Amelie.
I still haven't seen that.
Immediately watched it again. I had such a great time. I was like, I need to have that pleasure again.
Oh.
And Emily's weird.
Me too, Gareth, but I took romance.
I took romance. Oh, does that mean you didn't finish it?
Huh. I didn't have 12 games to store. Okay. We figured that's what it meant, ID. Mystery breaks. Oh. You can do it. Newfangled. Is that really an old man's word? I guess it is.
Newfangled. I like that word.
Hang on, my words.
This is amazing. Hey, 2 hours in, we haven't talked about biscuits. I love it.
Yeah, we still haven't talked about biscuits. I think we need to have biscuits. Hey, Ice. How's it going? John, Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. Yeah.
Keith David in the alley.
Yeah.
They live as a favorite of its kind. Has grown to its old cold. Okay, so I need to watch. I wrote them down. I gotta watch both The Thing and They Live.
It's good
That
fun.
is my task. See if I can get those done this weekend. What's the matter, Bubs? You need water or something? You want another treat? He's been known to soil himself regularly.
Who's that? John Carpenter
again, isn't it?
Hey, was he talking about Trump?
Yeah.
I think he was talking about you, Gareth.
Well, I just did.
So that does not seem healthy to me. No. Have you seen that orange blob? Obese dementia is not a good shit.
We've moved on now. Now we're going to read. Oh, the 5th season. That's it. 5th season.
That's
Did you actually say that, Gav, as well? Did you remember, Gav?
No.
About it?
I said the 5th Wave, which I think is a different series.
Oh yeah, that's the
Is that a YA thing?
5th Wave is YA. Yeah, that's what's his name? I forget. It wasn't the guy that did Maze Runner.
Oh,
Dashner. He lives
Blitzen.
on McDonald's. Yeah. No. Something Dashner is the author. There's not the Bulgarian. How do you love the Bulgarian?
Yeah,
A lot of brown books.
Vergare's amazing, but I really wish that we could do a series of videos about Vergare, but I ain't gonna do it.
You can. You just got to
can't.
put a little disclaimer in the front.
You can't. Well, I don't feel like you can.
An ice
But
planet
they're
with
great
beacons
books.
and no barbarians? There's your problem, Lo. Lol.
Lol.
Margaret, did you read Ice Planet Barbarians?
No, she's referencing that my book isn't sexy enough. I think that's what she's saying.
Oh.
But read my book, and apparently there's a really bad grammatical mistake in it that Michael Gayborn pointed out, and I need to reread it and correct it. But that's a lot of effort in it. But it's a good book, though. He said it's good. Mike said it's good.
I sometimes wonder if the post-war paper shortage dictating the Lord of the Rings be published in 3 volumes doomed us to the shelf-bending serial format fantasy.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because it came out as a trilogy because of the paper shortage, didn't it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Although it would have been an enormous book if he hadn't done that.
Well, I mean, all of the lending library books used to be 3 volumes, didn't they? I mean, turning a book into I mean, we just don't call it, the Bleak House trilogy, but it would have come in 3 books to be, first in a serial, then in,
they're all serialized, weren't they? So
Yeah.
that's the other thing, isn't it? That the length of the story would have been completely unknown to the people reading it at the time, because they wouldn't see it at once. They would have seen it in bits. So, yeah, that's true.
Shadow and Bone was good. Love the Shannon Meyer Desert Curse.
Is that Lee Berdigo as well?
Shadow and Bone is. I'm sorry, I think I need to get her water. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right. You talk amongst yourselves.
So, Olive.
That's what I do. Start talking to Olive. I love it. But she doesn't say a lot. What would be good is we start talking to her, and then Riley comes in, and then it seems like she's talking back to us, but she's just getting excited as Riley's come in. This is. I love the fact that we've got fantasy as the theme, because lots of people are telling us stuff they love, which is really good. We haven't got to the point where we're talking about what we're going to read in February yet, which is really. I'm looking forward to talking about it, actually, because I think some people have referenced these books before, and I can reference my Stephen King thing as well, which is good. And I really want to know what you're going to read, because you're going to do February fantasy with me, aren't you?
Yep. Well, you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah, should we just do it, and then Dave can catch up? I don't even know if Dave I think is having a bit of a random February, so I don't know, what he's doing on that front. So we'll do one book each as we go, should we?
Yeah.
All right. So first off, I'll reference that thing I just said. So it coincidentally, the second vote for the King, Stephen King book that was voted was Eyes of the Dragon, which is his at the time. It was his only fantasy book, and obviously he's done Fairy Tale now. But Eyes of the Dragon is definitely going to be read next month, so I'm very looking forward to that. What about you?
Well, I'll start with the one big book, which I think is definitely counts as fantasy. But I've already mentioned that we're doing a big read along of this on a video the other week, and I'll probably do a proper announcement for it. But I'm going to be reading for the next year and a half the Arabian Nights.
Ah, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
There's a few of us going to be doing it. So you got Sean, Randy, Brandy, Mark at Book Time with Elvis, Debs. So yeah, I've been wanting to read that forever. So
yeah, me too, actually.
but we're taking it very slowly, and I don't think we're finishing until June 2026.
Yeah, you're taking it faster than I could, because when it came up, I was watching Mark's video and I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind doing that. And when he said how much you're reading, even though it seems slow, I wouldn't be able to read. Was it 2 a week? Is it? Is it 2 a week?
Well, so I mean, what is it?
100. He said 150 pages a week. Was that right?
It's going to average out about 2 nights a day, probably something like that.
Yeah. So because I'll be reading other things as well, I can't do it. But yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oops. I've got loads going on with my thingy.
But yeah, that's the only fantasy book I've got planned where I think it's only one over 250 pages. So
yeah, and it goes through the month, doesn't it? The other thing, so as I picked up earlier, I do want to read the second Mistborn.
Mm-hmm.
So I really did genuinely love the first one. So it's a bit annoying that I've left it so long because I can't remember much about the book, the first one now. So like you said, I'll read a synopsis. I don't read it again. So I'll read a synopsis to remind me about the characters, and then I'll read the second one. I don't know if the second one's as good, but I really, really enjoyed the first one.
So you're doing that in February?
Yeah. So when you went off to do what you needed to do, we said we'd just bounce off each other, do one book each that we're going to read next month. So I've got 4 that I was going to talk about. I think is it 4, 5, possibly. So do you want to? Have you got plans as well, Dave? Some books there that you're going to read next month
in February?
Yeah.
Well, I thought. Oh, I forgot to grab it. But aren't we going to read? Well, yeah. So 2 things. Number one is I thought that we were going to read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb in February.
Yeah, I think that's on my.
So did you?
I don't know
that?
for sure, but do I mean it?
No, did you need it? One of you needed it, and I was going to mail it to one of you, and I forgot who it was because I had an extra copy of it.
Oh.
You or Joe, one of you 2 had it, and one of you needed it.
I found my copy of. Is it called Ship of Fools? Well, one of them.
No, that's Live Ship Traders. That's the
so
series.
I found that, but I think I've got. Did you say Assassin's Apprentice? I think I've got it, but I haven't found it. So
up in the loft.
Yeah. So, so if I can find it, then that's all good. So I don't know. I think I've got it, but I've never read anything by her, and I'm a little bit worried that everyone, like, there's people who say they love her, but there are also people who read like enormous, slow, world-building fantasy books, and I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be the right pace for me. I might just think, I'll get on with it, woman. I don't know. So I'm a bit nervous.
Is she like that? Because the books aren't that long.
I don't know. As I said, I've never read anything by her, but I feel like I hear things that make me think that her pace is quite slow.
Have you read any Hobb, Gavin?
No. Okay. I've got one, but I've not read it.
Okay.
When I was in New Orleans, my mate Rich, who was with me, he was reading a Robin Hood book for the whole thing. For a whole 9 days we were there, and he was loving it. He kept going, "Oh, it's can't wait to get back into the book," and
yeah,
he was really enjoying it. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to try her because it seems like a lot of people really, really like her.
Yeah,
but I'm also going to read one of my. I'm literally. I was trying to count it today. I'm literally, because I got all these different formats. I'm literally in the middle of 5 or 6, depending on how you count it, but 5 books right now.
Right.
It's like ridiculous because I'm in 2 buddy reads, so I'm active like every day trying to read a little bit of these 2 buddy reads that I'm in. I have another one that I'm listening to in the car. I have another one that I'm reading on my Kindle. I have a Kindle stand, so when I go to sleep, that's how I put myself to sleep, watching the reading my Kindle. So I have another one on there. And then I have Ice that I got for Christmas and started right before my buddy reads started. So like I actually just put it on hold. I'm not in the middle of it. I just temporarily paused it while I'm reading these other ones.
I've filmed a review for that's coming out on the channel soon, and I think it's probably definitely one of the best book reviews I've filmed.
Ice?
I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I think
Wait, when did you read it?
Anna Kavan.
Yeah, you just read it.
I read it for. So I'm doing this book challenge called Read Books. No, Read Good challenge. Ben reads good. Ben reads good. I can't remember his name. I think it's Ben reads good. He started this challenge, and January was Annuary, where you have to read something written by an Anne. So I thought I'd pick that. Did we say we were going to buddy read it?
No, but on the last live stream, you were asking me about it, like how readable it was.
I read it really quickly.
Just read this.
I read it in about 3 days. It's really, really interesting. Really interesting. Yeah. And I think everyone should read it. Any science fiction reader should read it. But it's not. It's very. I've never read anything like it before. It's very odd.
Okay.
And really dark. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only like 50 pages into it so far. So.
Yeah. So you get. So you know what I'm talking about already. Probably. There's a relentlessness about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it gets worse in that sense. But it's really good. No. But there's a review of it. So you're reading that. That's cool. So you're trying to juggle all that all at the same time.
Yeah. So my point was when I finish, and I'm going to finish all of those. I have all those things going. I'm going to finish them all relatively at the same time. Probably like a week from now, right? And so then after that, I had wanted to read I wanted to read a couple. I had in my head, okay, I want to do a couple cozy. I want to read a couple cozy books, like just a couple easy feel-good books. So I was going to read, maybe this counts as fantasy too, but I was going to read The House on the Cerulean Sea.
That's fantasy.
Yeah, that counts as fantasy, you think?
Yeah. It's not like medieval fantasy, but.
And then I also wanted to read this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely going to read this one really soon. Yeah,
they're both very cozy reads.
Yeah. Have you read them, Gavin? Either of those?
I've not read those, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't do a lot of cozy.
What's that, sorry, Gavin?
Cozy? I don't know if I do cozy. or I think I just find different things cozy.
Yeah. Yeah, you read Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes and stuff, don't you? I'd say they're quite cozy.
Literally just started with the Agatha Christie. I've read my Sherlock Holmes, but I had not read Agatha Christie. They're really fun.
Yeah, but they're quite. Would you sort of quite cozy? Do you reckon?
They are. Yeah, then I mean, it's an intellectual challenge, but there's no peril really, other than the people that have died.
Yeah. It's funny you said you wanted to read a light read after reading those books. So one of the books I want to talk about in a minute, I thought it was going to be a light read and it wasn't. Or it kind of was, but it had some like proper abuse in it and stuff that I wasn't expecting. So that was a bit like, this has gone down a road I wasn't, so that was quite funny because I chose it because I thought it was going to be a cozy read and it wasn't. Yeah.
Well, what is it?
It's the one I've just finished, which is Earthlings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that looks very different than the US version.
I think the US version is black, isn't it? Black cover.
Yeah, it's like black and orange, I think.
Yeah. It's completely mad, and totally unpredictable. The definition of quirky, but it's got some really serious stuff in it. The main character you think is just this like cute little girl at the beginning. She's a fully fledged adult.
Wait! Don't spoil. You're not going to spoil, are you?
No, I'm not going to spoil it.
I'm going to read it.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. She's an adult in her 30s by the end of the book, but she's still talking in the same way. It's a really odd book. But then I watched an interview with Sayaka Murata earlier today, and she talks like that. So she's got like this sort of, I don't know, a very innocent perspective, in the way she talks. But it's such a one-off. And I couldn't wait. I stayed up well late. I stayed up till 5 a.m. one night to keep going. And when I couldn't see the page anymore, I thought, no, I can't. I need to stop reading. And then when I had about 30 pages left, and I came in from work, and I said to my wife, I need to finish this first. I'm so sorry.
Whoa. Sorry. You finish the story.
Yeah. So I never do that. That's the first time I think I've ever said, I'm going to finish this book and then I'm going to socialize and we'll watch TV or whatever. And I really wanted to finish because I knew that it was going somewhere that was like, is this really how it's going to end? And then the ending is insane. And I'd heard people going, oh, you wait till you get to the ending. And the ending is like, I couldn't spoil it by, it would be horrible to spoil it by telling you what happens, but you wouldn't be able to predict where she goes. It's just bizarre. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's shocking. A lot of the times it's shocking, to be fair. Sometimes it's funny though. Sometimes it's like really heartwarming, but all the time you don't know what she's going to write. It's like, where are you going to go with this now? What are you going to do now?
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind. Be nice to be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing you're guaranteed on that one. Even if you don't like it, you can go, yeah, it did surprise me. MJ said it was cringy. She said it was a bit too cringy.
Dave, you're on mute.
Yeah, still on mute. Is that because your dogs are still going for it?
Sorry. They calmed down now. Yeah. Everybody came home. So okay, let me see. Let me just try to catch up a little bit more. Defending volume. I don't know what that is. There's enough to know. I don't remember even what we were talking about anymore at that point. Do you?
Don't know. We've gone past Wheel of Time now, I think.
Forget what happened. All in misery. I just saw some. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I've seen it now a couple times. It's like on Instagram reels and stuff where it's some girl is in a bookstore doing the misery thing. And she looks kind of like Kathy Bates, like a little bit. And she starts going crazy about, I forget what the guy's name is, but she starts like demanding the latest copy of this book. And the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have, we can order for you. She's like, how do you people don't have this cockamamie book? Whatever the language she uses in the movie,
Oh, right. And it's just someone that was videoing someone doing it in real life.
Yeah.
Real person.
And there's all these like customers in the bookstore. And I think most of them don't realize what she's doing. They just think it's a crazy woman there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you get it, if you know, it's pretty funny. Okay, book 6 does come out. I'll treat it as the last book. Oh, that's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And for updates on book 7. Yeah, tired and reading. He was convinced to bring back a fan beloved character. Oh yeah, Paul from Misery.
Yeah.
I was not happy with the climax to the Night King storyline in the final monologue. Heavy episode.
So the Night King storyline, presumably the way that, what's the name? Killed him, maybe.
Arya.
Arya.
Yeah. Arya.
Yeah. To me, that I was so pleased they did that because it made all that bullshit that happened before with her make sense.
Yeah. That totally that was.
And about 30 seconds before that, Theon gets his redemption. So,
yeah.
That was one of the good things that they did.
Yeah.
That's the only way not finished.
Because that was one of the things that was irritating me. There was like, how much training is she going to have with this faceless man thing, and how much, because it seemed like it was just like such a irrelevance, and then obviously that is why she comes out of nowhere at the end.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Heidi made up her own ending. She doesn't care. I never got in the Game of Thrones. I watched the first episode. So many characters to take me off. Huh.
Oh, okay. I haven't read the book, so Heidi says there's no crazy in the book.
I found all the books in the wild. I got them for like $1 a piece, so I have the whole. Not that last one, Dance of Dragons, but so they're all sitting there. I got the whole series for like $4, so I'll get to them eventually. Season 5 Game of Thrones onwards, it was all downhill. I disagree. Season 6 was great. Not so much 6, 7, 8. I will say that I guess it was it must have been season 7. What? Right? I think it was like episode 5, season 7, something like that, where Dany and Jon joined forces against the Night Kings. They were defending that castle against the Night King's army.
That's when the first dragon dies, right?
Yeah. That, I have to say, was one of the best hours of television that I've seen.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, that was intense.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Gavin?
Yeah, there's plenty of good bits right up until the end. I know in Game of Thrones, it's nothing's all. No ending is going to satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
And obviously this one annoyed more people than it pleased, but I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah, because I mean we'll talk about this another time in more depth, probably, Dave. But I didn't like the ending of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
What, Galactica 1980?
No.
Where they replaced Dirk Benedict.
The reboot, the real Battlestar Galactica.
The proper series. I love that you've gone old school. I love it. The Ronald D. Moore one. The ending. It's got a very religious last episode, and I was just like, oh, fuck off. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So it does happen a lot. I mean, it'd be interesting to actually talk about good endings. There's probably some really good endings. Babylon 5's got a really good ending, but he filmed it a year before because he thought he was going to not get a 5th season. So that's got a really lovely ending. Deep Space Nine has got a fantastic ending, and it takes about 8 episodes to end. So,
The Good Place.
Eh?
The Good Place.
I haven't finished that yet.
Oh, I'll shut up then. But yeah.
Yeah, it has a really great ending.
I think so.
That show is great about its twists, you know.
I've had to been thinking about it recently because I've been doing all this sort of Bangsian fantasy stuff about people in the afterlife, and it's just that's like the main TV show that there's been about it.
Yeah,
I think it's very clever.
I saw I think almost 2 full seasons. Loved it all. Was one of those things I just got busy and paused and just never got back to it, you know. But I keep telling myself I need to finish it. Do you know what we're talking about, Gareth?
Yeah, I do know, and I haven't seen any of it, but I do know, and I keep getting told
you would love it. I think.
Yeah,
I think you would love it.
I think I would. But can I just say, my favorite program has a fantastic ending, and it clearly isn't the Twilight Zone because that's got a shit ending. But my all-time favorite show has got a fantastic ending. So how well do you know me, Dave?
I thought Twilight Zone was your all-time favorite show.
It's not my all-time favorite show.
Blake 7.
Blake 7's that's got a weird ending, but that's not my all-time favorite show. I love Blake 7, but it's not my favorite show. I have said before what my favorite show was. I did probably about 3 years ago. I did a 10 reasons why I love this show.
Oh,
it's a Jim Henson product.
Oh, I was gonna say Walking Dead.
Fraggle Rock's got a good ending.
Farscape.
Oh yeah.
Farscape.
That.
So that was stopped prematurely, and then there was a big Save Farscape campaign in the early days of the internet, and they brought it back for a 2-part miniseries thing where it was 2 feature-length episodes to finish off the story. and it is absolutely bloody brilliant. Those 2 episodes are so brilliant, and they basically went, let's go to town, let's bring every character that's been in these 4 seasons before, and there's like all our favorite guys, bring them back in, let's get this thing finished in like with a bang, and it's such a brilliant ending. The only thing that spoils it is someone dies in it. It's just like, no, don't kill that character. But yeah, it's amazing ending. So if anyone in the chat loves Farscape, I love you very much. I've got a massive Rigel T-shirt for Christmas as well. Good.
Yeah, but the best thing is you got what's her name? Gigi
Edgley.
Gigi Edgley. When you got that video, you got the video for your birthday. That was awesome.
She talked to me as if she knew me. It was a lovely moment. And like they were watching me watching that. I was like properly going red. It was really funny. It's just like, I'm like a grown man and like thinking, yeah, this is directly to me. Like she knows me. Clearly, it's not. But yeah, that was great. That's on my daughter's channel. You can watch that on a YouTube channel. And there's like loads of my friends and family going happy birthday, and then she comes on at the end and does this like, I don't know. She talks for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that was cute.
That's cool.
You guys, I think he's British, so you guys probably is Tiny Tim big over there?
Well, he's known. He's known because of that horror film. What's the horror film? Yeah, the Tiptoe Through the Tulips was featured in God, what's that called? Because there was in both these horror films. There's one and there was a sequel as well. Do you know what I'm talking about, Gavin?
I'm not sure I do.
Are we talking about the comedian? We're talking about
Tiny Tim did that song, didn't he? Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Oh,
he had a really high voice. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He does. He always does all those pranks where he talks like a little boy.
Yeah,
like
I think he's only known for that song over here, so I don't know.
Oh, he's big on like social media with because he does a bunch of those things where he's Tiny Tim and he always calls everybody up as like a little kid. He's actually got a very deep voice. He does like stand up too in a very deep voice, but he calls people all the time, and he's always telling everybody his name is Tim. He's 3, nearly 6. That's how he starts every conversation. He's like, "Yeah, I'm 3, nearly 6," right? And then he goes on and he starts talking about. He always tells everybody how he's got a girlfriend, Chardonnay.
And this is different thing. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You should check him out. I'll send you a link. Tiny Tim Adventures.
I think I know what you're talking about. And it's a guy. Is it a white guy with bald head?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't know that was his name. No, I've seen that. These clips on. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. No, it's quite funny.
My youngest daughter and I used to watch him. We used to watch his clips all the time together. So I had, for one of her birthdays, I had him do one of those.
Oh, he did. Okay. He did the cameo thing. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he did a good job. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, that is good. It's quite a nice little thing that they started bringing out in it. Apparently, some people I've heard. Some people have got a reputation for just sort of phoning it in and not doing a particularly good one. And some people, like Gigi Edgley, do a really proper long one, which is quite cool. Yeah. So I feel like
you tell them they want a little information from you, and then they really personalize it, And,
yeah.
Like he was giving her telling her not to share any of her birthday cake with her sisters or her mom because they don't like him, they don't appreciate his humor and stuff like that. He's like, so definitely share it with your dad, but not your mom or your sisters.
That's brilliant.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf Moon, Margaret. That's a werewolf?
That's the emojis. Remember she did that?
Oh, right.
And
Emily, core memory and life influence. So Margaret likes it too?
Oh, it's so good.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
I was trying, Kat, but I gave up.
You got to watch Emily. Dave, you haven't seen Emily, have you?
No, it was one of those ones I
Oh.
almost did a couple times, and then
Oh,
just
you'll
never.
love it. You'll absolutely love it. It's just 2 hours of pleasure. It's just really nice. And
All right. Get the fur
I
babies.
should just imagine anyone in Paris watching that going, well, that's not how it is.
yeah. Well, they'd probably say the same thing about delicatessen, wouldn't they? That's not realistic.
What's that? City of Lost Children. That's the other one, isn't it?
City of Lost Children is a contender for my all-time favorite film.
Really?
I love that film so much, and every time I see it, I love it even more. I just think it's just. I mean, this says so much about I get attracted to oddness, quirkiness, I guess, especially with films like that, it's why I love being John Malkovich as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like something that's just a little like, what? Yeah, I just love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And City of Lost Children is mental. It's completely mad. If you describe the plot, you'd be like, what did you just say? Gavin,
have you seen? Sorry, go ahead, Gavin. Gareth.
No. City of Lost Children. You've seen it, Gavin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Years and years ago, I loved it. I probably couldn't recite the plot to you, but just
I don't think I've seen it. I'll have to. Gavin, have you seen Being John Malkovich?
Yes, yeah.
And did you like that?
It's left field. They're both left field. They're nothing like it. They're nothing like each other. I think it's sort of it's a fantasy production, City of Lost Children.
Yeah.
Whereas John Malkovich, that's set in the real world, but just with a sort of a very. Being John Malkovich is like a short story. It's like we've got this idea. And it's very high concept.
But it runs with it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the bit where he goes through his own head is a very good culmination.
And then the ending is like, it's just so messed up. The ending, and you're like, what? So who's who now? Yeah.
And which leads us to: have you seen, Gavin? Have you seen Dave Made a Maze?
Dave Made a Maze.
Excuse me.
Dave
Made a Maze. Have you seen that movie?
Nope, not even heard of it.
That's your homework.
Yeah,
you need to go watch the movie.
Is this
if you like the bazaar? If you like the bazaar, especially Bazaar in the real world, you should go watch that movie.
I want someone to tell me in the chat. Someone to tell me in the chat what I'm doing when I go. Is this your homework? Is this your homework? If you tell me what that is, repeat. Is this your homework? You get 20 points.
Are we? We're 2 hours 40 minutes in. We haven't done biscuits. Are we skipping biscuits? Or are we gonna?
No, we can't skip biscuits.
Okay.
Although I'm not drinking tea anymore because clearly that went cold about an hour ago. But I'm on lemonade now.
Gavin, you got any biscuits?
I do not have any biscuits.
What?
Oh my god!
People don't understand the rules of this show. We got one rule. Only one rule.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
No wonder there's people trying to take over Canada and.
What's the world coming to here?
Jesus Christ!
All right, Gareth, what do you got?
I thought, Gavin, you were one of the good guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I'll grab some of my son's bourbon biscuits if that makes me feel better.
what are you doing? Well, you're going to nick them at 2:00 in the morning. Wake up, his bourbons are gone. Right, I'm going to just tell you about Viscounts. Right, Gav, Viscounts, yeah,
Viscount is a winner.
So, I'm going to be good. I'm going to have one.
Let me see the package. Viscount? What did you call them? Vikings?
Viscount. It's like a lieutenant thing. Viscount. That's how you say the word Viscount.
Viscount. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Are those minty? They look like the package makes it look like they're minty.
Yes, they are. It's mint chocolate.
Oh,
It's a mint chocolate biscuit, and it's
oh,
absolutely awesome. And when my wife brought them into the house, I got very excited. I went, "Oh my god, Viscount biscuits!" So
oh my god!
it's very cool.
I
So
mean, let's talk about the provenance here. That is Lions.
Oh,
Lions is the Starbucks of its day. Lions restaurants, the old Lions cafes or whatever they were.
oh,
so it's
This is
in. So
where
each
people
one's
would
got
go
its
and
own
take
packet.
tea.
Yeah,
And where
And
there is
then-
tea, there is biscuit.
the thing is, you'll be able to tell what it tastes like from seeing it. It's one of those because the mint is really obvious. So I'll show you what I mean.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That's well good.
That's well good.
Oh,
Yeah, Lions gets 20 points. Awesome. So there we are. So that's my biscuit for the evening.
those look good.
Viscount
So
mint biscuit.
I picked up this little number today. It's the astounding. I'm gonna have to memorize it. Astounding multi-flavor JoJo's chocolate enrobed sandwich cookies. So I
Nice.
got this because you could see there's several different kinds, all of which look delicious. So I figured that I could have one each week. See?
Oh, okay.
Those are the four.
Oh, there's a
different
pack
kinds.
of 4, is it? So it's 4 packets in that box, is it?
Yeah, I guess so, unless they're all mixed. We'll see. I haven't had these before. Unlike you, Gareth, it's all original biscuits for me on this show. Yeah, it's 4 separate packets. Okay, so let's see. Oh boy, these all look good. All right, I'm going to go for the double chocolate.
Double chocolate. Okay.
If I can find that one, let's see. Oh yeah. So this.
Influenced by your bourbons, Gav.
I don't think the bourbon's going to match this.
I tell you, ask your average Brit, a lot of people choose bourbons as their favourite biscuit. It's very popular.
Yeah, I get it. Bourbon or custard cream. Why mess?
Why mess with the classics?
All right.
JoJo's. I've been to Madame JoJo's in Soho. Probably nothing to do with this.
All right, double chocolate here.
Okay. How is it packaged? Is it like?
Yeah, there's 4 different sleeves in the box.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole sleeve of them.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of cookies in here. Holy cow. All right. You ready?
Go. They're good.
No, that's off.
Those are well good.
Yeah,
Well,
well
good.
good. Nice.
So this is
You look good.
cookie in dark chocolate with a milk chocolate drizzle. Yeah, there's
Oh.
a drizzle on top. See the drizzle on top?
Yeah.
That's the inside. It's pretty good.
That's pretty much a cake.
Well, there's no sponge.
Almost. Wow. That's a high calorie cookie right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's delicious though. All right. Let's try to catch up here. Heidi says Robin Hobb is an S tier author. You will love Farseer trilogy and Realm of the Elderlings. Dogs play a big role in Assassin's Apprentice. Yeah. The what? Actually, Philip Chase was the one. You guys watch Philip Chase at all?
I've dabbled. I watched a few minutes and then I get bored.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's really good.
He's really good. He's really
He's
a
really
lovely
good.
guy too. Really, really nice guy. But
Yeah.
he's the one that recommended
Guys, can you
Assassin's
imagine?
Apprentice to me
If in a few
because
months'
of the
time, go on.
what happened.
Sorry. No, go on. Carry on. He recommended the Assassin's
Oh,
Apprentice.
he recommended Assassin's Apprentice. He thought I would like that because of the dog.
Did he send a message directly to you, or was it in a comment?
Yeah, I think it was a comment on my video. Maybe I don't remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
If he watches this now, I feel really embarrassed. I don't get bored at all. I think he's awesome.
No, he's not watching our show.
I watch all his videos all the time. I watch him every day.
Oh, he got really
He does
interesting.
seem really nice.
He's got a really interesting. He's a professor. He's an English professor, so he's
Yeah,
he's got a pretty interesting perspective.
He
on
teaches
things.
English, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I feel really bad now. I think it might be the only time I've said something like that publicly about
No.
but I think he's amazing. I love him to death.
No,
I've
he knows you
got
can.
a massive picture of him in my front room, and I've bought 5 copies of his book. There's something way.
The Way of a Den. Yeah, see,
The Way
you
of the
know,
Way,
you
yeah.
watch him.
Yeah. I know all about him. I read all his books.
In the middle of 5-6 books, do my read what you bookmark.
I'm gonna be racked with guilt. I
Is
feel
that a
so
challenge,
guilty. I'm gonna have another one of these to try and make me feel better.
Garrett. So the read what you bookmark challenge. So I guess that's having to do with reading a lot of books at the same time.
Yeah,
Have you done that?
That's something that William came up with, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay. Are the dogs safe by the end of Assassin's Apprentice? I hope so. I want to read it if not. Let's say they're huge heroes. Awesome. Suspicious when there's dogs in a book from a new author to me. Garrett, that's for you. Oh, Gavin, that's for you.
Okay.
The Mere Crack.
Well, I'm only 2 marbles in, so I shall give that a go.
Good work. All right, see you, William. Probably got
Cheers,
it.
William.
Richard Hatch, Apollo, Dirk Benedict, Starbucks, Lorna Green, Adama. Oh, the original.
Yeah. I like both, I've got to say. But
Yeah,
Disco
I was a huge fan of the original when I was a kid.
Oh, oops. Oh, I probably didn't show Gavin. You see that, Gavin?
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna do a watch along of Battlestar Galactica soon. I say soon. We
One
came
of
up with
these
the idea about
days.
6 months ago.
One of these days. No, we really got to do that. But yeah, I know. It's the trailer that's hanging us up. We're gonna do our trailer for it. So
Yeah. Oh, Gav, you'll know this.
He's having a hard time getting Chico to put on the outfit. So
Yeah, that'll send him right to Larry. That would. I bought so that we could do it. Gavin, I went to CEX and bought season 1 for like £1.50 because I can't get it on them anything at the minute. So I think I'm going to make return visits to CEX.
Yeah.
There's a cheapo shop over here.
I can't remember if they did like some spin-off series at the end of it, or sort of additional series. I saw the one that had Dean Stockwell in it.
Caprica?
Yeah.
I think that's what. Yeah. It's. I liked it for the most part.
Battlestar or Caprica?
Battlestar. Caprica was I think maybe I had to have been a bigger fan.
Yeah. No, that was decent, but it's very different. It's a totally different kind of show.
There were some amazing bits in Battlestar Galactica. Some like when they were occupied and had to rebel and things, and the general sweep through setting the thing up in the first season is so brilliant.
When you think about when it was made, it's quite bold to sort of take that sort of look at, oh, these are the insurgent fighters.
Yeah.
I think, oh, wait a minute, we're supposed to be rooting for the insurgent fighters at the moment. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Series is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lane's a big Farscape fan. This is good. We want more Farscape praise. Farscape is hugely underrated in the world, and it gives me a lot of pleasure. I just think about Farscape, and I am happy.
Yeah, it's interesting that it didn't get more attention, right? I don't know why.
It's because Australian people are racist against Australians.
It's my favorite too.
But it is, I'll tell you what though, I know I'm not going to waffle about Farscape too long, but it is really Australian.
It is really Australian?
Yeah, you can really tell. There's something about their I don't know. There's a weird tone of frivolousness, and I don't know, you can imagine them writing the Farscape script with beer in their hands. Do you know what I mean? There's that sort of Aussie kind of tone to it. But yeah, amazing.
So we are actually caught up. So Gavin,
no way.
What is the book that first got you into fantasy?
It was a book. I can't remember who wrote it. It was called Into the Labyrinth, which was a novelization of a BBC TV series.
Might have been ITV, mate.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. It had Pamela Salem in it. That's all I remember. And Ron Moody.
Yeah, Ron Moody was in it. That's it.
That's fantasy. I mean, it's a little bit of folk horror, I think, as well. But
I'd love to see that again.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm
trying to remember who wrote the book. It's someone like Nicholas Fisk or someone like that. It's.
And what was the name of the
probably
movie?
More on the sort of the science fiction fantasy side, I think.
Into the Labyrinth.
That was the book name?
Yeah.
And what was the movie name? The same name?
Yeah, TV series.
TV show would have been.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know how available. It might be on YouTube or something. It might be a clip of it or something, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
I'll see if I can find out who did the book. I hadn't thought about it for years.
That's a cool reference, though.
Into the Labyrinth. Let me see here. Just
I don't even remember. What's that?
Into the Lab.
Oh yeah. I found Peter Graham Scott.
Is this the British children's television series?
Yeah, it was a kids' TV
produced by HTV for the ITV network.
Yeah,
I remember I had that book, and I'd remember the TV series, and then as soon as I saw the book, yep, there we go, Future or a paperback. That would have been my first fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah, this looks like you can't get it anywhere.
Yeah. So were you reading a lot then in those days, Gav?
£6.
Huh?
I did a fair amount of reading when I was a kid. Yeah. I from 83 to 87. So this is like from when I was about 7 to when I was 10. I was in Zimbabwe, where there was television, but there was one channel of television. It began at 4 o'clock. There were 2 hours of TV shows for kids, and one of those hours was in a language I couldn't speak. So your TV was sort of fairly limited. So I did a lot of reading and sort of going outside as well. But
yeah, that's interesting. That really colours your childhood, doesn't it?
You have to make your own entertainment. You know, you have to amuse yourself rather than sort of like just plonk yourself in front of the TV. Not that I didn't love watching the telly that I did see, but
Yeah.
you weren't spoiled by it.
What
So what age
are
was
some
that?
other?
13.
Go ahead.
No, I was just what was your ages again when you were doing that?
So it's between 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Yeah. That for me, I was all about cartoons then, Looney Tunes and all that. And the Muppet Show was on then when I was 7 and 10. That was when the Muppets were on. But go on, what was you saying, Dave?
No, I was just going to ask what were some of the other like first few like big first few books that got you to start reading a lot.
I mean, Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues.
Okay.
And for sort of proper books, I'd say sort of David Copperfield, but it was like a children's version of David Copperfield.
Okay.
But then I would love the old Usborne books as well. So the Usborne book of ghosts and UFOs and all of that sort of stuff. And I remember having bunches of books about the Titanic, and I was sort of interested in sort of quite nerdy stuff when I was forever, actually.
What's your favorite genre?
It's sci-fi.
Sci-fi?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
What, a book?
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea.
That will change. Something by Jeff Dyer, probably, which isn't science fiction. But
what's
Jeff
your favorite?
Dyer.
What's the first thing you think of when Dave says, "What's your favorite science fiction book?" What's the first thing that came into your head?
I'd say probably Philip K. Dick.
Any particular one?
I probably Where Androids Dream. Yeah. I don't think that's my favorite book ever. It's just like, okay, I've got to pick one.
Just shut them up.
I mean, again, when I was a kid, so probably I read the Return of the Jedi novelization a dozen times. So that's probably the sci-fi book I have read the most, but not read it since the age of 11 or 12.
Okay. And what would you say is your favorite fantasy?
I mean, what other than Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. So Lord of the Rings is definitely your favorite?
I think it's just like the mark by which you measure every other single fantasy. I quite like I've read, is it Fletcher Pratt? I think the Blue Star by Fletcher Pratt. I just found that was just like such an odd book.
The Blue Star. That's a standalone?
Yeah.
Fletcher Pratt.
Got that here somewhere.
Is that an older one?
It is, yeah. I think like 50s, I want to say.
Okay.
So that is The Tale of a Parallel World.
Oh. It's a parallel world fantasy story.
It's not a portal. It just is. I mean, it just is a fantasy story. It is set in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't disappear into a wardrobe or anything. It's there's no travel between.
Okay.
It is just set there.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be. If you call it a parallel world, you don't have to spend too much time world building.
Right.
Look, we'll explain how oceans work, and
Right. All right, I'll have to check that one out. So that's one of your favorite, huh? Blue Star, Fletcher. Fletcher Pratt. Was there something unusual about that one, or like what's?
It is. I mean, I only read it a few years ago. It's. I just like the idea that it's an earlier fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've read some sort of much earlier ones like George MacDonald and people like that, where you're sort of blending fantasy and folklore and myth and bits like that. The genre is still trying to find its feet.
Right.
But I mean, I think this might have been just before Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure. Well, certainly before Lord of the Rings was in paperbacks and very successful, or around about the same time. I think this is 1950. I'll check and see when it was, but I think it's 1950s. Yeah, 1952.
Oh.
So before Lord of the Rings became like sort of the big paperback sensation.
The Blue Star, Gareth. The Blue Star by Fletcher Pratt.
Okay, I don't know that one.
That's a really good old fantasy.
So that's one of your formative ones, is it?
No, I was asked favorite.
It's one of his favorites.
Oh, cool. I don't know that. That's cool. I'll investigate. See if I can get it on eBay. The Blue Star.
What's like one of your favorite more modern ones?
I haven't read. This is the second in the series. I read the first in the series. I really enjoyed this. David Mealing. So the first one, what's it called? It was Soul of the World. Was the first one, and it is like a sort of fantasy Napoleonic New World fantasy. So it's like colonial United States.
Okay.
But the regime that is in charge is very much based on sort of the French Napoleonic code. But there is a native population in the place that they are colonizing as well. And there is magic and stuff like that. So it's I enjoyed the first one so much that I bought one. So I got the first one from the library. But so I bought this, have not got around to reading it yet. I was waiting for the third one to come out, and I think it probably did end of last year.
So what's the first one called?
Soul of the World.
Oh, Soul of the World. Oh.
But again, it's just like, well, this was planned as a series, so I was just, you sort of read one, yeah, I enjoyed that. I'll wait till it's finished and then try to blitz through them. Once I buy the third.
Gareth, how many are in this? How many are in this Kings of the Wild series?
2 so far. There's apparently a third one coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny because I couldn't think you could improve on the first one, and I actually quite like the second one more, a little bit more. Bloody Rose, it's called.
Okay.
And it takes up. So Rose is the character that they're rescuing in the first book, and then the second book is about her band of mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
And they're it's a little bit more quirky in a way. Some of the characters that are in it, some of their abilities and stuff, are a little bit more weird. Whereas that Kings of the Wild, they're like, hench guys that have swords, But Kings of the Wild is so brilliant. I can't wait for you to read it.
Okay.
It's just a lot of fun.
So what Gareth, what would you say is your favorite fantasy of all time?
I'll tell you what, in the early days, I did really like Lord of the Rings, but I really, really fell in love with the Belgariad, and that really had a massive effect on me. It really did. I loved all the characters. I think it was one of the things that established me as a reader. So I did read before that, but it was the first time I was properly like taken somewhere else. and I felt like I was really there, and I wanted to go back there, and I had a real affection for the characters and stuff. So that was a really big thing. But I really like these books. I'm rereading them again. These Fritz Lieber books, the Pfaffel and Grey Mauser books.
Mm.
So I'm rereading those. So I wanted to read a little bit more of this second book in Fantasy February. These are a lot of fun. And what's nice as well is that they're not really dated. And I was, when I read the first one again, the year before last, I think it was, I was a bit worried it'll be dated. And I was thinking, oh, this would be such a shame because you can't recommend it to young people if it's dated, you know. People like us can still read them, but it's nice to be able to recommend old stuff to people in their 20s and that, you know. And it wasn't dated. I really, hey, there they are. Awesome. Which ones have you got? You got the same design.
Swords Against Death, Swords and Deviltry, Swords in the Mist.
So you got the first two at least. Swords in the Mist is.
So one, no, that's the first three.
Yeah, it is the first three. Yeah, awesome. Have you read them?
No.
Oh,
I bought them last year.
I deliberately wanted these ones, and I don't know if she's still in the chat, but one of my friends got me one of them in this imprint because she noticed that I did a video about them, and I talked about them and said that I had all of them again. I bought them all again, but I couldn't get this imprint on one of them, so I had a different version of one of them, and then she got me, which was really nice of her. But I just love the design. Yeah, the covers aren't necessarily amazing.
But
it's really like,
was it a Celtic knot or something?
Yeah, it's just nice, isn't it? And it just feels very fantasy-ish. But yeah, they're really cool. And I like small scale fantasy probably a little bit more than saving the world fantasy. You know, the kind of the classic quest where there's some evil sorcerer that's going to make everybody turn into dust or something. That's like a standard. But things like one of the things I liked about the first book of this was it was a heist. You know, they're trying to take away someone's power by, you know, nicking something. And that's what makes me think I might enjoy Six of Crows, you know, because it's a heist. This is apparently one that I need to read. This is on my TBR.
Oh, yeah.
And I get the impression this is kind of a bit more small scale as well. So I like that kind of thing.
A great heist one is Loch Lamora.
Oh,
the Lies of
Scott
Lochamora.
Yeah.
Oh, that was down the road. I nearly bought that down the road. It's 50p down the road. If it's still there, I'll get it. I've got a charity shop about a 30-second walk.
It's really good. It's proper sort of Ocean's 11 stuff. It's
right. That's cool. Yeah, I like. You know, there's so many things you can do with fantasy, and obviously there's different types of fantasy. But as far as your standard sword and sorcery fantasy, and it's quite nice when you get something that's a little bit different like that, and like, you know, like sort of essentially a crime story through sword and sorcery is quite cool, isn't it? Because you know, we talk about fantasy. I have a lot of affection for Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, that's a portal fantasy. Love all that. Big Alice fan. So yeah.
All right, well, we are at 3:08, and most people have left. So
we only got a few left, have we?
Only a couple left. Yeah. So what do you think? Should we?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let Gavin get his beauty sleep.
I've got to be up soon. Yeah.
I've got to be up soon.
I'll just share these last ones. These are ones I'm going for in February.
Oh, Lynn Carter. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Wizard of Lemuria and Thongor of Lemuria.
I think I have Thongor of Lemuria. Yeah, I'm gonna try some Lynn Carter because that's very much in the style, I think, of like the old. I've been going through the Tarzan books.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, one of the 5 books that I'm reading now is I'm almost done with what is it? Tarzan Untamed. I think it's like number 7 or something. And I've really enjoyed them all. I mean, none of them are as good as the first one, but like, I'm just going to keep going. I think I'm going to do all 24. I'm like, I really am.
Awesome.
I've been buddy reading them with Dia over at Novel Idea, and we have yeah, I've really enjoyed them. You know, like every couple months we do one, and but I've
Yeah.
seen those Lynn Carter books, and I think it's the same. It's the same kind of style, right?
It's uncomplicated fun.
A complicated, pulpy fun.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need lots of that. It's cool. It's you know, people sometimes are embarrassed to say they like reading that stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
And there's no reason to think like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I've got Tarzan the Ape Man. I've had it for ages, and every month I think this is the month I'm going to read that.
The first Tarzan?
The first one, Tarzan the Ape Man. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got it. I've had it for a while now, and yeah, I definitely want to read that soon.
Yeah. Tarzan of the Apes is
Tarzan the Apes.
I think I classify that as a quality. No, I think that's a quality piece of literature. I think after the first one, it definitely gets a lot more pulpy and, like Gavin was saying, like more, you know, more just like unbridled, like good fun, you know. But I think there was a lot to that first one. I think I really think it was. I would have read a lot sooner if I knew how much there was to that book. I thought it was pretty cool, and like the things that the different things that it explored. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about it as soon as you're done, as soon as you read it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I was surprised at how interesting and layered and fascinating Princess of Mars was.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet.
I really enjoyed thinking about the video I was going to do on it and filming the video, and yeah, I just thought this is a really interesting book because it's so influential as well. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, he's an interesting man, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is. I'm going to do a video before the end of the month. I'll probably film it this weekend, talking about February fantasy and talking about why, again, sort of saying again why February is going to be fantasy for me. So I'll also be doing the Storathon and a few other bits, but basically the stuff that's not the obligated stuff is going to be fantasy. So I'm going to do a little video on that and talk about some of the things I might read. You know.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be good. I want to read this as well, which is not fantasy, but I want to read this soon because Erasure by Percival Everett.
Oh, okay.
Because the film American Fiction was based on this, and the film was American. It's so brilliant.
I enjoyed that movie. Such
a brilliant film, wasn't it? And it was it's just like that book I just read. It was so unpredictable, wasn't it? You didn't know where it was going to go, and you're like, "Oh, that's interesting." I'll tell you what, though. Who is it? Is it N.K. Jemisin or Nnedi Okorafor? I think it's Nnedi Okorafor. Has just written a book that's got exactly the same plot. It's called Death of the Author. And I'm thinking, is someone going to call her out on literally nicking Percival Everett's idea? Or am I just missing something? It's just a bit weird.
I'm sure as an idea, it must have been done before.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. It's weird. It's like she's taken... Because this is quite recent, you know, and American Fiction is obviously a recent film adaptation. It's almost like she saw that and she's like, well, I'm going to do a science fiction version. A bit weird. But yeah, so I'd like to read that as well. Obviously, that's nothing to do with fantasy. Oh, and you know this challenge I was doing, which meant I read Anna Kavan's Ice in January. The February challenge is to read something with fire on it, fire on the cover. So I spent bloody ages looking at all my books to find a cover with fire on it. And what I found in the end is one of my hard case crime books. So I'll be reading my first. Is it Max Nolan? I think his character's called. It's called.
Oh, okay.
It's called Double Down, and it's got this like action-packed cover with like this like a sailboat on fire and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be in there as well. So that would be part of February. So yeah,
Could you not find a fantasy book with like a dragon?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, loads of dragons, but without them breathing fire. They were just like an image of a dragon. I was like, what? Yeah, it's a bit weird. So I know what you mean. Surely that's an easy thing to find, but I couldn't. Yeah. Even Eyes of the Dragon, it's like that hasn't got an actual dragon breathing fire on it. Could have done a double hit. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
looking
think
forward to reading this.
there's no fire on the Song of Fire and Ice. I don't think.
Yeah, which seems wrong, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There is one, I think, Dance of Dragons. There's a dragon on that, isn't there? You're all right, Ralph. Ralph is
You think?
he's off. Yeah. So are we going to call it then?
All right.
this
Yeah.
This has been a very awesome chat, isn't it?
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming.
loads.
I felt like it was everything we could do tonight, trying to keep up with the comments. It was kind of crazy.
It's always a battle,
Wow.
isn't it? But I always think, if we're behind on the comment, if we're not behind on the comments, then that means that we're not talking, which is a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it? So it's all good.
All right. Well, whoever's left. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for tuning
Thanks for
in.
joining us, Gavin.
Cheers, then.
If you're
All right.
watching this next Tuesday, I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday, and I hope your weekend was good.
Oh, Jenny. All right. 3, 2, 1. Wait. Oh, what'd I do? I did the wrong thing. Hold on. I clicked the wrong button. Still on.